Well, hello to everybody in the YouTube universe that has chosen to forget about Major League Baseball and join us, which might be one or two people. I don't expect the show's ratings to be any better or worse due to the baseball game, but I'm sure it'll be worse. But anyway, we have a loyal group of participants here on the show with us. As always, we got Randall and David and Roy and Gustavo and Chuck and Terry, and we're all ready to go. We have this is obviously November 1st, our first of the month photo lounge image review live stream to be followed up in a couple weeks by our general discussion live stream where we're going to have a presentation, and I'll let Gustavo talk about that later in the show. We're going to bring in, we've got Matt Mosman joining us here. Hello, Tim. Good to see you. Felt like I just talked to you a few minutes ago.
3-0
for the Jays.
Oh yeah, Martin.
he has that sepia tone going on here. Sepia.
The Jays just hit a home run. Yes.
Okay, hey, I'm all right with that. I don't mind.
I decided to come as a pumpkin, so.
Yeah.
So we got, as I was mentioning before, we went live.
Okay.
We now have three panel members that now have the ZR. We've got Randall and Roy and Tim, aka Mozman, all have the ZR. So later in the show, after we've gone through the photos, we'll if we have some time, we'll have them interject any first impressions that they may have about that camera. Tim just got his. I mean, literally just got his the other day, so he hasn't had time to really throw it against the wall yet and see if it still works. So I know Randall's been very busy popping out videos and doing a lot of stuff with his and having a good time, I believe, overall. And but we will get to that later. We'll see who's here.
Jeff, I saved the throwing it against the wall part for the live stream. So.
Ah, good. Okay. See it here first. So we've got, we have Bob Our Photos is here. Hello, Bob. As usual, you'll be one of the first people's images that come up, which is typical. We got Robert from Connecticut, and let's see, Robert Varner's here. Robert Varner's here to fill the body count, he says. And Real Nikon Lover, hi Jim, how you doing? And he says, Robert says, wonder why everyone's chat names have changed the last couple shows. Still seems to show mine correctly, at least on my screen. Yeah, it depends on if I log in before Gustavo. Sometimes if I log in as him, it sees me as Gustavo, and tonight it saw him as Jeff, and he had to change it. So actually, I could be Gustavo right now because it is just after Halloween, and I didn't change my costume yet. So I went out as Gustavo, and everybody knew me. Rakesh is here. Hello, Rakesh. And Martin Hill. Hello, Martin. And who else do we got? Am I missing it? Jeff and Leslie. Hello, guys. How you doing? Oh, Jeff, so sorry. Just so sorry. Yeah, that's not how you want to be preoccupied. Very, very sorry. Our sympathy goes out to you and the family. So Jim's spending some money. 2 Godox IT30 Pro flashes and a TR extension stand. Little mini flashes. Let us know how you like them. Hey, if you like them, put together a little pitch, and we'll squeeze you in on a show so you can show everybody how they work.
I'm interested in that IT30 Pro. I almost bought one. They're sold out everywhere, though.
And let's see who else we got here. I'm a little bit behind. I guess we're caught up. So we have 16 people. We'll wait a few minutes. We have 100, believe it or not, for the first time ever. I don't think we may have hit 100 once before, but we actually have 102 images tonight. And some of them do have a Halloween theme to it, which is appropriate, or a fall theme to it, which was nice to have. So it isn't all what, let's say, people may say, oh, I'm used to seeing always the same this and the same that. Well, you're going to see some fall images and some color and some Halloween specific images, along with some great landscape shots, as always, and some macro shots and a little bit of everything. I think you really will like the images, as we all do every month when we show them. And I want to really, I know we don't have anybody new in here, but as of this point in time, but for maybe if someone new watches this show another day after it's recorded, I just want them to know that when we do this image review, it's just about sharing your journey in photography. We don't critique your image unless you ask us to. And I don't care if you just picked up a camera 3 weeks ago. Share what you take. We're not here to embarrass anybody. We're not here to shame anybody. We don't care what brand of camera you use, because you know what? In the real world, if you can't, once you learn your camera, regardless of brand, you're gonna take some really, really good pictures. The cameras nowadays are not going to limit you to any great extent. Each one may have one thing that's a little better than the other guy or what have you, but you're going to take great shots with anything that you buy out there once you understand what photography is about and really learn your camera. You're going to do very, very well. So feel free. Newbies, come into the show, pop on the panel, share a few images. We're all good with that. And let's go around the panel. We'll start with Randall and go over to Dave and then Roy and go across, and everybody just talk a little bit about what you've been up to, anything new that you may have purchased before we start going over the images. Allow us to get a few more people in here. So Randall, we'll start with you. I know you got a few things to talk about.
I've been doing a lot of videos with Nikon ZR, different ProReses, the red. The only thing I'm having a problem with is the power button, changing lenses or hitting it all the time. And then I have to remember that it's on the left-hand side. So that's basically the only problem I've had. I've noticed that when you do change to different modes, it sometimes affects the sound, inside the camera. So you have to reset it manually. Sometimes the internal microphone will work. Sometimes it doesn't. But been having a lot of fun with that, and I got them set up for this show tonight.
So you are broadcasting through the ZR?
Yeah, that's a ZR, and then this one also, the one up here, which is this one. That's a ZR also.
Which one is better here out of the two?
All right, this is 50 millimeter f1.2, and this is the 35 millimeter.
That's better.
So Randall, so what you're telling us that you got two CRs?
Yeah,
you got two ZRs.
Yeah,
and I bet you buy double mint gum too, don't you?
Yes, I do. Always have a backup.
Well, we'll just have a little discussion about that camera a little bit down the road in the show. So it's you and Roy and Tim could give us a briefing here. David, what have you been up to?
watching baseball.
David's watching the game.
Distracted.
Oh, he's definitely just. Oh, David.
Nice one.
Hey, David, we're trying to get your attention. What have you been up to other than watching the World Series and placing bets on Toronto?
Probably
Well, we will skip to you, Roy.
I've been playing around with AI this week.
Oh, yes. I think you should mention that some of your images that you sent me are the product of AI.
2 of them are, yeah.
Yes, 2 of them are the product of AI. So you guys will kind of get a kick out of what Roy did with a couple of images.
Well, I haven't been up to as much as lately, but the last week, yeah, yeah.
We have a bit of delay.
Yeah, David came to life. Like
Is my
3
sound
minutes
working
later.
or not?
Yeah, it's working.
Not working.
Okay, but anyway,
I don't know. Confucius
I don't
say.
think my sound is working, or you can't hear me.
No, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah.
It's just cutting out a little bit.
I'm not sure if you're hearing us. Like if we're out of sync here somehow. Hey guys, we should all just move our lips and not say anything.
I think he's been affected by daylight saving.
Yeah, David's computer is on the time frame for tomorrow morning.
Probably doesn't have a feedback from us. That's it.
Yeah. Roy, what else you got going on? Have you fooled around with the ZR much yet?
No, I've barely touched it. I've had it a couple of weeks. I took about 4 frames now. Just for testing.
Is my sound working now?
Your sound
Sorry?
is working, but I don't know that you hear us.
Mm.
Actually, put it in the private chat, guys, so you can see it. I'm going to just say,
Yeah. Okay, you can hear me.
Yeah.
no, if you
The point is, can you hear us?
hear us, we hear you.
Nope.
Anyway, Gustavo, jump to you, felt my friend.
That's okay. Not much.
Anyway,
Okay. David?
No.
This is a new one. This is a new one. When we got one panelist delayed by about 2 minutes.
This is the trick or treat edition of the photo lounge.
That's true. That's true. So quickly here, not much. I have been photographing mostly at my yard, also doing some running some errands. So actually, is beginning of the rut for the mule deer. So they have been photographing the local deer, and of course making sure that get all the apprehension whether there will be poaching or something going on this year or not. So anyway, so you will see some of that in the coming show. By the way, a couple of things that we're talking about purchase. I did purchase a new bag, the new think tank bag with the rollover top, which I wanted to replace that bag for traveling, but that is not arriving until Monday. So I bought a smaller bag like that one. So it's a 20 liter, not a 30
Yes,
liters.
please.
And I will and I interesting enough I photographed a species called evening speak, which I had never seen in my yard before. And actually it's not that common. So hold your horses maybe in the next review or the next general meeting. So that's with me.
And Chuck, how are you doing, my friend? How are you doing?
Oh, I think I'm doing pretty good, man. I got a little bit more to say. With my speak is really doing well, but need another well, daggone it. Well, anyway, I'm going to. It's going to. Anyway,
You're gonna crash on us early tonight?
yeah, I think so.
Hey, I love it that you're here. We care a lot about you. All of us do. We're always thinking of you. We wish you you know, I don't care if you pop in for 30 seconds or 3 hours. I just like to see you. And I just wish I had hair like that.
Every time is a bit better anyway.
All
Terry,
right.
what have you been doing? Terry, what have you been doing down under?
Actually, nothing outside. I just finished arrangement for a safari in April in Africa. And you will allow me and Gustavo to ask, I will email you for some advices later on.
Okay, definitely.
Well, we've got 23 people in here. So for those in the chat, a reminder. I mean, we're not because we're doing mostly images this week. We probably won't have a lot of questions, but if you do, use the QQQ in front of your statement so that we pick up on it and make a note of it and come back to it when we have a minute to do so, because we don't want to ignore anybody that's in the chat. And I agree with that. Chuck is always dapper. Always looks like he's ready to do he looks like he should be announcing the World Series. I think he would look good in the booth. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, David says he's using 70% of his bandwidth. And we're going to start the photos right now. Give me a second to bring them up. Share the screen. And then I'll resize things. That will make it full screen here. And I will hide my name so we don't have that blocking anything. And I will go to the screen I have to work off of. And if there's any problems, I need you guys to let me know, because I can't see the chat right now and I cannot see,
That's okay.
see everything. So you guys have to be my eyes for me here. So we're going to start off with the first group of images that we got. We got images from Louise, followed by Jeff Sluter. He probably doesn't even know I stole some of the shots he sent me on an email. Jim Eads, Real Nikon Lover. We got a good amount of images from Jim that we're going to share, and then we have Roy after that, where you're going to get to see Roy's AI talent come out, which will be quite interesting. So this first image that you see, and of course, Luis apologized for the name of this, and I'm going to screw up the name of it. I'm going to try my best. Let's see.
Everyone know.
Vovolomadria Beach. Hope that's how you say it. He says, sorry for the name, Jeff, with mainland Albania in the background.
Okay.
And this is with a D7100 with the Nikon 28-300 at 44 millimeters, f13, 1/400th of a second, ISO 320 minus 0.7 EV.
Oh, beautiful.
This is from Albania, with Albania in the background.
So he was in Corfu, correct? The last time he mentioned that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Terry, you must know better the geography of Greece. But can they see Albania from that part of Greece or not?
Yes, from Kerkira, what you call Corfu,
Okay.
yeah, you can see Albania.
Ah, okay. So that's your geographical explanation.
Okay.
It's good to have people of all nationalities in here.
His second image that he sent in. This is of Kalura Beach restaurant during late afternoon before they opened up. This one was taken with the Nikon Z8 with the F mount Nikon 20 millimeter f2.8 at f6.3, 1/400th of a second, ISO 110 minus 1.3 EV. Yeah, this was I'm sure a little tricky lighting situation because he's got the shaft of light on one side of the image and then a little darker on the other side.
Very well balanced.
Yes, looks very nice. Looks good.
And he brought this to make Terry homesick or what? So we need to ask him that.
Not
Yeah.
really.
did it on purpose.
Exactly.
His next image here is of a Cridia, which he says is a type of a grasshopper. This was with the Nikon D7100 and his favorite, Tokina 100 millimeter macro lens that he likes to use at f13, 1/500th of a second, ISO 320 minus 0.7 EV. That is an interesting looking insect.
Yes.
That is I don't know. I definitely would. I don't think that's anywhere in anything like that in the U.S. Is there, guys?
It's a different
I've never
species,
seen anything like
European
that.
species.
European species? Okay. Now, his fourth image is a male blue-throated keeled lizard. He says in late summer they
like a
lose
red
the
throated.
blue in their throat, hence the lack of it. But it is a male blue-throated keeled lizard with the Nikon Z8 and the 500 PF. Yay to the 500 PF. F7.1, 1/1600th of a second, ISO 400 minus 0.3 EV. Nice uncluttered background. Well done.
Yeah.
And boy, that thing, if it had its belly against the completely on that branch, it would be really hard to see him. I think, if you were walking, blends right in perfect.
Yeah.
And then his, let me get over to my cheat sheet here. Move it up a little bit. His last image he sent in. This is of a slender whip snake. He says this beauty was coming from underneath that concrete block from time to time, maybe to have some sun, question mark. He says this was along a busy path in an old village. Maybe that's the reason why it was so tolerant of his presence. He says he saw 3 other snakes of this species and none were as quiet as this one. And this was with the Z8 as well, with the 500 PF, f7.1, 1/640th of a second, ISO 80, 0.7 EV, minus 0.7 EV.
He really, Luis, always have great images from the snakes. Right? He has a good eye for the snakes, which I'm not easy to see. I agree with Jeff about beautiful little snake.
It's funny, we have a lady who I haven't seen in probably a year now, but everybody nicknamed her the Snake Lady because she would go in the park area and she would see snakes when nobody else would. She just knew, she knew their habits. She had a lot of snakes apparently on her property. She knew how they like to hide, where they like to hide, and she would come to the park and specifically just to take pictures of snakes. Everybody else was doing birds, but she was always doing snakes.
Here we have Luis and actually Jess Leslie who do snake regularly, and that's not easy. It's not the easiest subject to photograph and get something good. Otherwise, they always look like a little stick and nothing else. And you have to be prepared to get close, correct? Otherwise, they will look like nothing. So I think we covered great images, Luis.
Yep, good job. Thank you so much for getting these in. Now I got a few here that are the same image. One is cropped. The first one is cropped. The second one is not cropped. And but I figured I'd show it to you because you never know what you're going to see when you're just driving around in your car. He says he was driving back to the rental house from Snake Road when we saw these two eagles on a dead tree. He says, of course, we had to stop in the middle of the road, jump out with cameras. And he says the timestamp's an hour off. He forgot to switch the EXIF data on his camera to Central Time. The only difference between these images, like I said, one is cropped a little and has a touch of sharpening, and the other is straight out of the camera. So the one you see first is going to be the cropped one that has a little bit of sharpening on it. If I can find my, oh man, I'm having trouble finding my pointer. Come on. Here we go.
Oof.
Nice. Good shot.
This is something nice to run into while you're driving down the road and manage to stop in the middle of it and not get killed while you take the pictures. So this is the cropped version, and this is the uncropped version. They don't look that skinny. I think the computer's processing it here. There we go. They didn't really lose weight. So Jeff, thank you so much for managing to shoot those off to me with everything that's been going on with you. Thank you very much.
And look at that comment. Leslie is our resident snake girl. We go to Snake Road every year to catch the migration from swamp to cliff. Very good. Very good.
Now the next images are from real Nikon lover Jim Eads, and so he got this first image of a Morro. This is a Morro Bay seagull posing on a city bench with the famous Morro Bay smokestacks in the background.
Great image.
So Jim has a wide variety here that he sent in, which is cool. He gets in a lot of traveling. He gets in a lot of local traveling, no doubt about it.
He shoot a lot of variety.
Yeah. His next image, he took this white peacock in Colombia at an animal preserve. Like I said, Jim always surprised me. I mean, he sends Gustavo and I pictures from time to time. Just he's out there and goes, "Well, what do you think of this?" I got a picture of this, and it's always something interesting and new. This next shot he took is of a parrot in Colombia at an animal preserve as well. And what's neat is the fence in the background is actually a very interesting look to this image. It kind of looks like somebody's what do you call it, picnic table covering or something. Bokeh's really nice. And then next thing you know, he finds a California condor posing in a sanctuary at the Santa Barbara Zoo. That's a big sucker, isn't it? That's big.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to meet that up close and personal. I could do without that bird, I think. I believe they're protected, aren't they, in California?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, they're protected.
Yeah.
San Diego Zoo has a big habitat for them.
And there is regular reintroduction in a couple of places in Big Sur, and also what is that other national park, Pinnacles or something like that? Mossman, that they have they have programs for reintroduction of the condor, which are doing reasonably well, but still a long way to be. All the birds that you find outside, which is always a treat to see them if you are able. I tried many times to see the wild birds. I never watched them except in zoos. Are from the captive breeds, and they have markings in the wings. Also, you can see them sometimes in the Grand Canyon. There is another
When you
group.
talk, is it Pinnacles National Park that you're talking about?
Yes,
Yeah.
Big Sur and Pinnacle National Park are the two places in California to watch these birds.
Yeah, it's not going to win a beauty contest, but it is interesting.
No, definitely.
And then he got a shot of the USS Missouri.
Okay.
And not living in California, I don't exactly know where this is.
Is that boat listing?
Missouri is not in California.
Yeah, so I don't know where he went to. I don't know where it's at, you know.
Where is it?
If he's in here, well, Jim was in here. Jim, why don't you type in the comments where you got the shot, where it's at, where it's stationed at. And then the last image he sent in was Halikala crater.
Hawaii. Yeah.
That's a nice shot.
Yes.
Love the color.
Yeah, the Missouri's in Hawaii, Jim says.
Okay. So those are all the images from Jim. Jim, thanks a lot for
Nice one, this one.
That's gorgeous.
sending those in.
Yeah, that's a beautiful shot right there.
So do you say this is Kilauea or Mauna Loa? Which peak did he say?
Aliyah Kala.
Ooh.
Aliyah Kala, whatever how you say it. Aliyah Kala crater.
Beautiful. Love the red color.
Yeah, the red, and then
Yeah.
you know what's interesting is all the little white specks of some kind of stone or whatever that's in that red too, and kind of going down towards the middle of the image too. I don't know what that is, but adds some interest. Makes you think like, what is that stuff? You know, maybe it was windy. Maybe that was stuff that was blowing in the wind. I don't know.
No, that's probably the way the erosion causes all those colors, but the beautiful landscape.
Almost looks like an AI image.
And here
No, you're going to see that in a second. You're going to see now the first image you're going to see. The next image is from one of. I might have two sets of images from Roy. I forget, but these are the first three images he sent me, and the first one is real. The following two, not are partially real. They've been slightly modified, but this first one is real. And he wasn't sure if he wanted to share it because it might get some people's stomach rumbling or whatever. And I says, no. That's a good photo. Send it in. So prepare to be frightened.
Yeah, slide
Oh,
from
yeah.
Oops.
So that's real. That's real life. Now, because right now some of you might be not feeling so good, and maybe you feel like getting a snack. So maybe you'd rather have, if my computer wakes up here and gets to this next image, maybe you'd want to have a hot dog. Now, maybe a hot dog's a little too heavy for you right now. You just saw that first picture and you're saying, Jeff, get rid of this hot dog shot. I'm starting to feel sick. You got to find something else. Okay, well, Roy was nice enough to send something else.
There you go.
Toast. The toast will calm your
That
stomach
vegetarian.
and you'll make it through the rest of the show. I guarantee it. But if you can't stand real life and you can't eat a hot dog, then go have a piece of toast and you'll be good.
Is vegetarian the other one? Un carnivore.
Certainly
Roy, Roy.
Good job, Roy.
excellent.
The next images we're going to see are from Bob Reppert, Bob Our Photos. And so Bob sent in some before he went to Philly on vacation. Then we got images from Martin Hild after that. And then we have Terry's shots. So those are the next three presenters. And let me get back to my cheat sheet here. All the images you're going to see are taken with the Nikon Z8 with the Z180 to 600 millimeter lens. And this first image that you're going to see is once the computer wakes up and doesn't show the bird like it's in some kind of a wall of mirror exhibit at the carnival. Come on, computer. Come on, hard drive. Come on, you mice. Start running. Quicker.
Are you sure you didn't tell the computer these were taken with an anamorphic lens?
There we go. So here's your brown thrasher with a meal. Like I said, the 180 to 600 f7.1, 1/1250th of a second at 600 millimeters. ISO 1110. That is your lucky number.
Wow.
That is your lucky number. Now, the next set of images that Bob took were 3 images of a Carolina chickadee. And so we'll just jump right to those. And this one is the chickadees in flight, heading back to the hole that's in that dead tree. And obviously the caterpillar.
Wow.
And this was at 1/1250th of f7.1, 1/1250th of a second at 600 millimeters, ISO 640. And then the same bird. In this case, that's the I believe that's the poop sack that it's removing because there's babies inside of there.
Yes.
And so it's getting ready to fly off with that. I don't know. I guess they must have a dump nearby where they dump what they dump, you know.
Well, away from the nest so that they don't attract predators.
Yeah. So that's f7.1 again at 1/1600th of a second at 600 millimeters, ISO 640. And then he took this one because he liked the shadow.
Excellent.
On the tree.
Love the shot.
So it's got the caterpillar in its mouth, and you got the shadow underneath, and you can see where it's going to go in with the food. And so that one's at 1/1600th of a second as well. And then he decided to top it off with Royal like this, a small gator who is he's working, as Bob words it, a small gator working undercover, literally. F6.3, 1/1250th of a second at 600 millimeters, ISO 6400. This is in a totally different area of the park, which is freshwater actually. So this is a freshwater area in the park, in a pond. So thank you, Bob.
It's funny, I think I have a shot of that exact same gator.
You probably do. I think you, me, and Bob all got that shot.
Yeah.
That's a good image. I think getting close like that is what is deserved.
Yeah, he's probably only about. I'm thinking maybe Bob, you correct me in the comments if I mess up, but I don't think it was more than a foot or two away from the edge of from the embankment. Exactly. You know, it was really close to us, very close to us. Now the next images are from Martin, and his comments before I show you the first picture. He goes, he was out a lot, mostly to take photos of fungi. He had so much fun out in the autumn forest. He says the leaves changing and finally acceptable temperatures. Just a fun time. He says he'll start off with a couple photos from his hometown again. So, oh boy, these words, guys. I'm part German, but I don't speak it. I don't speak it the tongue. So let me get the picture up here first. This is a cool shot.
Yes.
It shows. I'm gonna put what he put in parentheses. Shows the Nero Mountain funicular. He says the funicular connects the valley to an observation point on top of a hill in short walking destination to the Russian Orthodox Church. It is a touristy destination. He says, as a kid, I went there with my granny almost every time I visited her. It is also of interest to transport technology nerds as it is driven by water. The two cars are connected with a cable. To let the lower car ascend, water is pumped up the mountain into a second car, which then pulls the empty car up the mountain. When the car reaches the valley station, it releases the water and the cycle continues. It was built in 1888 after the plans of a Swiss engineer. Even though it's a pretty short ride, 250-foot height difference and about 500 yards of distance, he says it is really fun. He took this with the Z6 II, the Nikkor 105 S lens, f1.8, f8, 1/125th of a second, ISO 800. He says maybe I should have adjusted the blacks a little better. He says less is more. No, it looks fine. It looks fine. Boy, those people are all standing perfectly straight, aren't they?
Yeah, man.
So that's the first image he sent over. Let me, I gotta scroll a little here. This next image is a view from the observation point on top of the hill. He says you can see that there is a vineyard directly below the point. It is the only vineyard in the center of the city. The outskirts actually produce a lot of wine. He says, I just like the turning of the leaves. You can see pretty much the entire center with the market church. In the background, you can see the neighboring city of Mainz, which is the capital of the neighboring state of Rhineland-Pfalz, Rhineland-Palatinate, which we usually call RLP. Says even further south, you can see the Odenwald mountain range, which is 50 miles away. But there's something special about this photo. In the upper left corner, there are a few hundred dark spots. He says, I don't know that I could see them actually in this photo. I don't see them. He says there's a couple hundred. He says there were a couple hundred dark spots. He says the cranes were migrating south. It would be cold soon. He loves the sound and sight of the cranes so much. Pretty emotional for him. Says, so yeah, bird photography with a wide angle lens, huh? Z2, Nikkor 20 millimeter AFS f8, 1/400th of a second at ISO 560. Now we know that Martin loves fungi and mushroom, small flowers, all that kind of stuff. So this next shot is
Wow.
This is called a coral tooth fungus.
Coral, yeah.
Also pretty rare, but he says he's found it a few times now. Still makes him happy. He says he took this one with the Laowa probe lens, which is fun for close-up and forest floor photos, but it's kind of hard to use. It is very dark, f14 to f40, and only manual focus, which is hard to tell, even though he uses focus peaking. So, yeah, it's not very sharp, but he still likes it. It is not a sharp lens anyway, but it's good for low and close-up perspectives. Looks pretty sharp to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks all right.
I wouldn't complain about it. So this is with the Z6 II, the Laowa probe, 24 millimeter, ISO 110, 1/13th of a second. It's amazing how sharp it is at 1/13th of a second. F15, says the EXIF data. He says, but I'm not sure. He says, I also use a strong flashlight on the fungus. Impossible to shoot photos otherwise. Now his next shot
Wow.
is
That's better. Still better.
oh, you know what? I think I jumped down to the wrong. Martin's going to kill me. Let me okay, I'm going to back up one. This is the one I just described. This is the coral tooth fungus.
Oh.
This one is called the tiered tooth fungus, also called spine face. The first time he found this one, he was really happy. Looked very spectacular to him. It's a stacked image of 21 pictures.
Wow.
Z62.
Looks like a coral anyway.
Yeah, Z62, Nikkor 105S, F35, 1/40th of a second, ISO 200. And this shot is the one he took with the Laowa probe at 1/13th of a second. That is the coral tooth fungus. So I apologize. I was looking at the wrong paragraph on my cheat sheet. So some very, very interesting images as usual from Martin, and I like it, Martin, when you send in a few from where you live too, so we kind of get a sense of the environment that you're in most of the time. Most of us won't get a chance to ever go to where you live, so I enjoy seeing the pictures of your hometown. So thanks for mixing things up a bit, and we appreciate you sending those in.
I just looked that up, and another interesting fact is it's actually edible.
Wow.
Ugh. Not for me, it's not.
Yeah. I think I'll pass too.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah. They'll say it's a delicacy, $100 an ounce or something.
Oh, wow.
The next images are from Terry. Terry, I'll let you narrate these. Hopefully I have them in the order that you sent them, I hope. But let me bring up your first one here, and I'll let you talk to it. Once my computer wakes up again. That's what I hate about external drives. Unless you have SSDs, you get a lag. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. There we go.
Oh,
There we
wow.
go.
That's good.
So, Terry, what do you got to say about this one?
Well, this is we call it Prince pier. Is an old pier. They have taken the top off, as you can understand. Supposedly they would have done something all these years, but they left it like that. For good luck for us, anyway. We like it like photographers.
Yeah.
Well, it's a long exposure, as you can see. That's yeah.
Did you have to use an ND for this?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
It was something like 10 stops, I think. I can't remember now. It's a long time.
So that's an abandoned pier or abandoned port, or what is it? Originally?
Actually, it is half. I'm shooting from the first part, which because of the position and the sticks now further, they're not using it. But it is nice for people for stroll around, on the beach and on this small part of pier now. I heard from people saying they wanted to fix it later on, before a couple of years now, but they never, they have left it like that, which, for me is better.
Yeah.
I like it like that.
Yeah.
Wow. Incredible.
Well, send them a copy of this picture and say, hey, guys, don't ever change it. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
You never know. Somebody may grab onto that and say, you're absolutely right.
And on the right side, you can see the Melbourne port.
Okay. Wow, that's a beautiful spot.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Incredible, Terry, as usual.
Now his second shot.
The next time I'll go lower.
Wow.
That's from Cook, Mount Cook in South Island of New Zealand. From Hooker Lake. This is from the first attempt of black and white. I didn't succeed as I wanted because the ice in the front is more white than what I wanted.
Now, how long does it take you to get from Australia to New Zealand? I mean, do you go by boat or do you fly there?
With airplane, it takes about 3 hours, I think, 2 hours.
Wow.
It's not so far.
Yeah. And the topography is completely different, so you get a whole different set of pictures.
Absolutely. It's full of mountains everywhere, particularly the South Island. There is really mountains, and of course, you have to go on a winter or probably autumn or even spring. Don't go summer. I did, and I regret it.
What, too many people there, or?
Not as much as no snow, basically, and everything is gray or brown, dead.
Got it.
You know, nothing. It's nothing attractive, as found out. I go there, run around almost the whole island, and it was disappointing.
Wow.
But the south part actually was good because there is a lot of green there, and yeah, that was all right. But the rest of the island was because, as you see, it is mountains and has a lot of snow. When the snow is not there, at least losing the interest for photography. That's the whole story.
Yeah.
I'm talking for a photography point of view.
Yeah.
Beautiful image, nevertheless.
Thank you.
Yeah, my cousin lived there a lot, and his well, at one time it was his father-in-law was a big sheep herder.
There
Had
are
a huge business, and was very, very well off.
much more sheep than people there.
Yeah, more sheep than people. Yeah, that's true.
Man, much more. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll bring up your next one, or we will when. What's the score, David? You got an update?
Yeah, it's 3-1 for the good guys.
For the good guys, okay.
Identify, please.
Yeah, Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not the American team.
Yeah.
That's a typical Australian outback.
Okay.
I had, it's funny, on this shot, Terry, I had a similar shot that I was going to share, and after seeing yours, I threw mine away. I once in a while, I see a shot like this, and I call that the light of God, is what I call it. I'm with somebody, and I'll say, now that's the light of God.
I call it sun ray.
It's
sun ray,
wonderful, right? When you could get that shot, so nice.
Yeah, it was. We have been in Grampians. Is Roy? You will know. There is a few nice mountains up there, and as we were going close to the top, suddenly I saw these lights there on my right, and I jumped and the camera straight, shot it a couple of times, and with the intention to be truthful, with the intention to make it black and white, and I did it.
And Terry, this is a single image or a
Yes.
panorama? Okay.
No, just a single.
You-
Little bit cropped.
Now, is this a converted image to black and white, or were you shooting black
Yes.
and white too?
Yes,
Oh,
now converted.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have cropped a little bit the low part. Wasn't so
Yeah,
interesting that I thought it's better like that.
yeah, it's wonderful. I love it. I love it. Very nice.
Fantastic.
And now a word from our sponsors. Come on, I don't hear anything. We don't have any sponsors yet. Jeez, what are we
Check your
doing
white
wrong?
balance.
Squarespace.
Check your white balance.
I did
Jeff,
it.
try.
Is out.
Jeff,
This is
Right,
this
this
is
is
a
where
picture. This is a picture of a gray card. You know what's sad? Somebody will take a picture of a gray card, right, and they'll end up in some museum, and they'll be making gobs of cash off of it, and everybody will say, "Gee, what do you see when you look at that?" You know.
you have to turn you have to tilt your PC to make the running faster downward.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, Terry. This one here.
That's from Brisbane. They make this walk on the beside the bank for stroll, basically. Not really for communicate one part with the other. And it is nice, and particularly at night, attract my attention with these lights on and off. The lights around.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then we got one more coming up from Terry.
Terry was definitely
These are all shot with your Canon 5D SR, correct?
Yes.
And they all look the same, Terry. You got two gray ones.
Two gray ones, yeah.
Yeah, that was how call it, the light didn't work right on that.
Okay.
This is from Perth, actually, from the CBD. Just these lines attract me, the squares and the cubes around. Yeah, I couldn't resist.
yes.
Yeah, I mean it's just technically perfect. You got the different angles, different directions. Perfect.
Well, it is straightened a bit on a Photoshop too.
Yeah.
Because I'm from low.
Yeah.
But when I make the shot, I calculate to make it a bit wider to give me the space to straighten up without missing parts.
Yeah, that's a very good thing to talk about because I've had to straighten out some images lately that I took, street photography shots and whatnot of some structures and there were a few cases where I got pretty close to being a little bit too tight with the shot when I went and actually corrected it in Lightroom. And you need to give yourself some breathing room in terms of taking the image because you'll lose a lot when you go and straighten it out.
Well, I lost a couple of shots and I've learned this way because when you straighten something, most of the time you're losing, if not two, at least one corner. And it's very difficult to, or you have to crop it a lot, which is not the point. Yeah. And I learned after that, and
that's how you learn, by trying it out, and then you go, okay, I'll know better next time. Make a mental note.
Yep.
But
that's the way.
Thank you so much for these images you sent in.
They're
Thank
wonderful.
you very much.
Thank you.
The next images, we got a handful of images. Tim sent me some images a while back, and they're kind of like from when him and I got together. And some of them are from Conway, South Carolina. Some of them are from Wilmington, North Carolina. And just stuff that we saw when we were walking around. And in this case, the ones in Wilmington, it was raining that day. And and I wimped out. I didn't bring my camera because I didn't think the weather was going to be good, but Tim did, and he got a shot one of those shots I wish I had my camera and I got it. But the first few were just I didn't realize till recently the city of Conway, where I used to live when I first moved to South Carolina. I lived in Conway for 2 or 3 years, and then I moved to the Myrtle Beach area. But the city of Conway, when you hit October 1st, they renamed the city of Halloween. And if you call the office, they answer the phone. Hello, city of Halloween. Can I help you? And they've really, really gone all out with decorations and stuff.
Wow.
And they have a lot of animated creatures.
Boo!
This one's actually standing on some railroad tracks. And
That's actually not one of them. That's Jeff before we found a place to eat.
yeah. Well, that's the thinnest you're ever going to see me. And I probably have that many teeth. I will admit the teeth look similar. But yeah, they had a lot of animatronic stuff that they had sensors and stuff. If you walk down a set of stairs and all of a sudden you'd hear machine guns shooting at this thing, and it would be moving around and making noise, and you'd hear machine guns going off. So we went there when it was just getting decorated for Halloween, and then subsequently I went there with my wife last week, and wow, the change from when Tim and I and Bob went to what I saw a week ago was really significant. And water tower here, Tim got the Conway water tower, and I don't know what they were doing down there. I don't know if they
He's
were
fishing.
fishing for skeletons for Halloween, I think.
It was lowering a bag down. I don't know what was in it. But...
Okay. Drug activity.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, maybe.
Lowering bags
Maybe.
stuff.
Maybe I'll get some money for this photo, huh?
Maybe. I might be getting a call from the FBI in the next half hour. And then this one is this was from a wagon that was in a visitor center at what they called the L.W. Paul Living History Farm, which was in Conway. And basically, you had a bunch of different structures on, I don't know how many acres of land it was, but there was a guy, plowing the field with a donkey who wasn't always cooperating. And they had multiple buildings. They had a building, where they would dry out tobacco leaves. And in the foreground of this image that was in the cart is some of the stuff that obviously they're growing on the farm. So you got the tobacco and other items in there as well, and it made for an interesting shot. And
Nicely focused.
It was a nice place to visit. They had everything from farm equipment to, like I said, they had a church there. I think I shared an image of Tim in the church and said he was preaching to Bob and I when we were on the farm. Maybe
I hope I got through to you guys.
Well, yeah, not for me. I'm a lost cause, so there's no chance. So eventually we went to Wilmington, and it was raining, and we walked past this building, and I made a comment to Tim, and like I said, he had his camera and I didn't. He got this really cool shot, black and white, of a couple friends eating at a restaurant with an open window, open view there, and it was raining.
That's why they're laughing.
They're really cool.
Yeah, they caught me taking their photos, so they definitely perked up a little bit.
Charming the ladies, Tim. Charming the ladies.
That's right.
And that's when I kicked myself in the butt for not bringing my camera.
Yeah, but I think this type of photos, again, like we said, it tells a story, correct?
Yeah,
it tells a story.
Now, this last image of the first set that Tim sent me, this is in Wilmington as well, and we ran across a newly married couple that were getting their pictures taken by the professional photographer in the rain, unfortunately. But what are you going to do? It is what it is.
Good story there in that photo too.
So those are the first ones that Tim sent in, and then there's a good grouping of Halloween-themed images that you'll see towards the end of the show. And the next sets of images that you're going to see are from Gustavo. You're up next. Gustavo, and then we have Anita's images.
Gustavo who?
Gustavo who? That's what I call him. Gustavo who? And then we have Anita Stewart, and then we've got David Stewart after that. So let me scroll to my notations, even though Gustavo's going to talk about these, so I don't have to read it. Give me a second and give the computer a half an hour to think about it, and we will. And Gustavo's images are appropriately representative of the fall season.
Yes. and you will see these images. I went to visit my son at the end of September in Ohio, and not a photographic trip, but a morning after basically a shower. My wife and I went to the Cuyahoga Valley to a local farmers market, right? And while my wife was shopping for some items for breakfast and to take back to my son's apartment, I was wandering around and I saw they have to display a lot of pumpkins and gourds and all that kind of stuff. And because of the good light, it was low contrasting light, and there was still a lot of humidity in the air, and all the pumpkins were clear. I thought a good opportunity here to do a little bit of a experiment in color and texture. Right?
Now you took all these shots with the Z8, I believe, correct?
Yes, that's the camera that I took for the trip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very successful.
Yeah. Most of them
True.
Yeah. Most of them taken with either the 14 to 30 millimeters or the 24 to 120. Right? So I love the texture. So again, this is more like not my regular photo, but a little bit of a study on a particular subject. Okay?
Do you know if these parts in the pumpkins, they are natural? This texture, this.
Yeah. This is all these different textures are coming from. It's a tremendous varieties of pumpkins that get cultivated mostly for decoration.
Yeah. This time,
Unfortunately, people don't eat some of those. Right? So you
That's nice.
can see here the leaves that have fallen overnight were still wet, right? And then of course you have here a situation where you have in this basket all these pumpkins of same kind, but there was one I think they call the porcelain type pumpkin, the white one. For me, that drew my attention. Right? So you go with your camera looking for a composition within the different trays.
Yep, you got that dead leaf on the lower right.
Presence of
Exactly.
It gives the sense of the size.
Exactly.
Are you sure these weren't taken in the exclusion zone in Chernobyl?
No, the ones you're going to see next all came from Chernobyl.
I mean, it was, I tell you, one tray after the other.
It is here behind the cloud.
Yes, it was a cloudy morning after a rain shower.
Yeah, I can see that very gray.
Very gray day. It was gloomy. Yeah. This is unusual. I don't know why. I don't usually have the thing lagging like this.
As you can see, Terry, that the colors, because of the weather, were very saturated, right? That's what be going on. You know, you take a camera and you're not in the supermarket, but this is an open market, and you look at it and say, oh, That's
It was
beautiful.
raining before, isn't it?
It rained the night before.
Yep, they're still wet. Yep.
It's still wet. Yeah, it looks good. Very nice because it's clear.
Yeah.
And then he kept
Oh,
going,
wow.
baby. Kept
That's-
going.
Yeah, that popped. Yeah.
It was, and I tell you, I got a lot more. So you decided not to bore you that much.
Yeah.
Actually, the next two, I saw but I mean, it's important, correct, that we take all the things, correct? I mean,
Good to take different things.
yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
you take something like this and you frame it and you put it up in the fall, in your house.
Exactly.
This is very interesting with
Oh,
the
nice.
definitely with the shapes and
The gores,
gorge, the gorge. Yeah.
they do really have funky shapes and beautiful colors, correct? These were like in basket, Terry. So
Oh.
they were baskets after basket after basket with different type of. Because people buy them, I understand, for making local decoration. They put it in the front door during this type of the year. Right?
Do you know if they keep the color for long?
They keep the color for quite a long time.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And we got one more coming up once the clouds pass.
That's
You
one
have
of
a
the,
very foggy day, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah. Foggy area. They call foggeria. Foggy area.
definitely this is Apple trying to tell you, hey Jeff, you have to buy a new computer. So this is
Oh,
the
this is ridiculous. This has never taken this long before. I don't know why.
This looks like a painting, right?
yes. Anyway, so
Really painting. That's really painting.
yeah,
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I think I wanted to show you something slightly different. That's what I mean normally show you.
And you succeed 101%.
Very good job, Gustavo. Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. These would look good on prints, man. You should print a couple of these anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are great photos for a kitchen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now the next images coming up are from, let's see, Anita, I believe. Yes, Anita Stewart. So she says the photos that you're going to see, the photo you're going to see are taken on the same day, but in 3 separate provincial park locations and 3 different light conditions, all within a 2-hour drive. The day started out with not a cloud in the sky and ended up the same, but in between just about every type of weather: hot, cold, windy, bright, dull, but thankfully no snow. Autumn in the
You're
west.
not in Victoria?
This is at the Beaver Dam Provincial Recreation Area.
Very nice.
And she says autumn in the west is not nearly as colorful as it is in the east. The yellow gold trees in these photos are tamarack, coniferous tree that turns yellow before shedding its needles. She used her Z6 II with the 24-120 f4S lens at f10 ISO 200. She did have her D500 with her, but unfortunately did not see any wildlife. So she took most of these shots with the Z6 II and the 24-120.
Oh,
So that's image 1. Beautiful shot.
it is.
It is. Yep.
This is
That's better.
this is at Crescent Falls Provincial Park. So this is a different area. Oh, like she said, they're all within a 2-hour drive. Different lighting conditions, different times of the day.
Very nice.
That could be a postcard right there.
Yeah.
And then
That's nice.
so this is also at Crescent Falls Provincial Park.
Beautiful.
And this one is at Twin Lakes Provincial Park. This is at 51 millimeters, 1/200th of a second. And then this last one is also at Twin Lakes Provincial Park.
Nice.
Very nice, Anita. Thank you as always for sending these in. We appreciate it.
They really look like paintings.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they're great shots, Anita.
Then David, now we got yours coming up, and hopefully you're not 2 minutes behind us here with the sound. We will throw up your first image here and let you talk about it. And this is not my cousin, just so you know.
Well, I didn't say it was your cousin, but anyway.
Hello, David. No, sorry, that's sorry, confused.
Yeah, but even though it doesn't look like it, that netting is behind the giraffe, not in front, like the line across the nose. But this I shot with my 100 to 400, and it's and for change, Jeff, all of your stuff or the XF data is not showing up on the picture. And I shot this with my Z9, and this guy was watching me watch him.
Did he have a camera cut to you?
No, well,
No.
you know, it's must have been my mustache or something. Being that,
Be glad he didn't try to lick you.
well, he was far enough away he couldn't reach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice building.
Yeah, and this I shot at the university, and it kind of looks AI sort of, but it's not.
Yeah, like a plastic. Yeah, that's
Yeah, but I shot this about 30 or 40 times, trying to get the right number of people and whatever in this.
You see, we can catch up with the AI. We can make a nice photograph like the AI.
Yeah.
Is that Calgary, David?
Yeah, this is Calgary. It's the University of Calgary. And I don't know what building that is in the background, but the student center is right behind me when I shot this. You know, so every time I go there, there's new buildings, so I don't know what's what.
That's the students working.
Yeah. And these two were fly fishing, going through the center of the city.
Oh, wow.
Why would you fish for flies? I don't understand.
Yeah. To catch them for bait for the other.
Must be a Canada thing. We fish for fish in the U.S.
Yeah, but they catch the bait
and ship it to the U.S. and then we got to pay extra.
Well, it'll be a lot extra from this guy, you know. So anyway, yeah. But I watched him for about half an hour, and he did a lot of casts, and you know, but he's just you know, and the guy that was in there rowing the boat, making sure everything was going okay. So, but they're just going through the center of the city.
That means the one was working, the other one had fun, isn't it?
Well, I think the guy in the boat, he was probably having fun with his paycheck, you know.
It was like that, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeff, try what Bob suggested here.
And we got one more.
Okay, this one, the XF data wouldn't do you any good anyway because this is a composite.
Oh.
And it's a composite from left to right and also up to down.
That's good.
because you notice on the left side it is not the same type of time of day as the right side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to try something here where
Go to the
reason you're not seeing the
Oh, there
Hit
it
the
is.
F key.
well, the reason I had it in I did not have it in I had it in develop mode, not library mode, and that's why you couldn't see it.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me come on. And now you have it.
But this took me 2 hours to shoot,
Oh, wow.
and we never did get a good sunrise that day. You know, but
Looks like there is a early afternoon
no,
or
this
late afternoon, actually. Sorry.
this was I started an hour and a half before sunrise,
Hmm.
and I finished a half an hour after sunrise.
After sunrise, yeah.
But it was so cloudy that
You
you
make
could hardly tell.
the lights from the city nice, glowing.
Yeah, well, there they are on the left side.
Yeah.
That was taken first, and because the sun never really came up, you didn't get in. And what you see on the right side is maybe an hour and a half after the left side, and there's about 6-7 layers in this, and it's blended from left to right. So
There's a feeling of some dystopian, like a movie. So the one side there is the civilization, the other one is that the dead people there.
well, I wouldn't quite go that far,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a matter of imagination, right?
It's because where I live is on the right side of this picture.
Yeah, you're right. Dead people. You're right.
That's like for you, man.
Anyway,
The,
Robert, thanks for that hint of telling Jeff what to do, so I can see the XF data, and that in the library too mode.
well, I didn't see his hint because I can't see the chat, so I just figured out try that, and it might be. I don't sometimes like doing it in library mode because sometimes you fly through some images inadvertently moving your mouse, but apparently that's what I should do that's what I usually do, I guess. And this time I had it in develop mode. Maybe that's why it was taking longer for the images.
Yeah, because you had it on develop. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that could be why we had all those gray images,
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think that might be. I don't know if this image is yours or not.
Nope.
No, that's
Okay,
mine.
So this is now Randall. Randall, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still with you.
All right, you're on, buddy.
Okay, this is with the Nikon ZR with the Nikkor Z 35mm f1.4. And this is just outside of the Sunken Gardens, which is right next to the San Antonio Zoo. During the Hemisphere World's Fair in 1968, this was the Spanish Art Center where they did pottery and other types of art.
Ah, that's why it is the oven. Yeah.
Yeah. It is not in use anymore, but they put it as a kind of like a museum right next to the Sun Gardens. And right next to the tower is the Japanese, well, it's another restaurant, but it used to be a tea house. But it's a beautiful gazebo, and you'll see a close up of the wood looking from the bottom to the top. But I always get excellent pictures there. They have some flowers. That was an old cement quarry, and they gave it to the city, and the city filled it with water, put a lot of flowers and plants, and they got fish there, and birds come by all the time. So it's a great place to visit. It's free. This is a bridge to the tower that, or right next to the smokestack, but there's a lookout tower right there. And they got the rocks that's all around the wall. And then, of course, they got that wooden bridge, which is about 30 feet above the pavement below. But it's a wonderful place to visit, and it's busy all the time, all year round.
And these are all with the ZR, correct?
Yes, it is, with the 35 millimeter f1.4.
Now, when you bought it, though, you bought it with the 50, correct?
Correct. And then I went the next day to get the 35 millimeter f1.4 because that's my favorite focal length.
Okay.
So
Is that is that a model in the top right?
Is this what you call a butt shot? This is a butt shot.
Dirty people.
Where Randall says, "Well, I really like this picture, but."
In fact, that couple right there thought I was following them. So
Uh-huh.
Maybe they were right.
Who's that man with the camera? Uh-oh.
yeah.
The moon's a little low in the sky.
Yeah, Robert says cheeky.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying no more. I'm gonna skip to the next one.
Yeah, this is better. Yeah.
So you can get a close up with that 35 1.4. It kind of reminds me of the character from the F mount DSLR lenses and some from the camera, or film days. But that's why I like the lens. It's not too heavy. It doesn't have the special stuff that they put on the lens. That's why it's on an S lens, but it does have character. But it can be sharp too. But you can see on the top part where the petals or the flowers are becoming blur, and then the ones in front are sharp. And I've got some images where it's blurry in the front and the back, but sharp in the center. So that's why I kept the lens.
You're wide open, Randall?
No.
F6.3.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
F6.3.
1.4. The exit 5.
Well, it says he used the Nikkor
3.
35 millimeter f1.4, but it says 1/60th of a second at f6.3 ISO 100.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
You got to read the second line, Gustavo.
Ooh. Is your team losing, David? You're getting a little quirky here.
No, we're ahead 4-2 with the top of 7.
Oh wow, that's good.
Okay. And then we got your next one, Randall.
Right. So this is a nice bridge toward the waterfall, and they got waterfalls to the left, and then the big waterfall on the right. But you notice that all the stones are built in the bridge. They got cement on the bottom, but they got the stones for the steps, and then the guardrails, and then it's an arch, and water goes through it, and you'll see ducks, and you'll see fish, and it's a wonderful place. And they have flowers and different plants all around on moats and also by the walkways. The only thing you have to worry about are the bees, but it's still a beautiful place to visit. And this is the gazebo. This is about 20 feet high from where I'm standing. But look at all the woodwork and the little lantern right in the center.
See, this is the kind of shot, Randall, where I don't know. I'm sure you probably have one, but if you have a fisheye lens and you lay flat on the ground and shoot straight up, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've done that before. People look at you like you're really out of.
I know.
lost. When you're laying on the floor with it, when you're laying on the ground with a camera straight up, people always give you a look.
That's right. But there was a lot of people there, so I was lucky to get that shot.
You'd be getting walked on.
Yeah. And this is from the gazebo looking at. No, I take that back. No, this is after the waterfall, and I'm looking back, and I'm in the shade because it was getting warm that day. It was like 96 degrees outside. So I got in the shade and I took this shot. And it's funny because, around lunchtime or whatever, people disappear. They're eating at the tea house or the restaurant there by the gazebo, or they went somewhere else. So where you would think that the busy hours are, they're not there.
Well, here they are. They're hanging up in the tree here.
Yeah.
And then I think we've got, let's see. Yeah, we got one more from you here.
All right. Now, this is outside of the second garden, just before you get to the zoo. They got that water to the left before the waterfall. We used to drive our cars through that, and they, blocked it off, so we can't do that anymore. But there are ducks there that live there all year round, which you can see on the left-hand side, and there's people fishing actively. And you can see all the lily pads and stuff to the right. It's a beautiful place. And the park is to the right, and there's a train there also where they can take you to the art museum, and they can show you around how big this area is. And it's with the golf course also. So it's a good place to hang out with.
How far away is this from where you live?
It's about 12 miles.
Oh, geez. That's nothing, huh?
Nothing. But, San Antonio's like that. You can go like 40 miles an hour or 40 miles because that's how big the city is or the county is.
Yeah.
And, but they got a lot of places to look.
Well, thank you, Randall. That's everything you sent in, and appreciate you using the ZR so we can see how it does with photos. And I'm sure you took. Did you take some short video clips while you were there too?
Yes, I did. So the video I did with it, I had these shots, and then I did the video with it also. So if you want to see the whole thing, just go to my channel and look up ZR. Do a search, and then it'll show the sunken garden. So you just look at that video.
Let everybody know what your channel is before we move on.
Just put Randall Brander, and it might come up with 8157 or something like that. But just put Randall Brander, they'll find me. So no problem with that.
So thanks a lot, Randall. So we got a second batch of images from Roy, which, as far as I know, are not AI. They're the real deal.
That's what he said.
Oh, wow. I've never seen the green one.
Well, I wrote to Roy. I said, I said, really? Green and black? And Roy says, the color balance must be off or whatever, because he says it's supposed to be blue. Not green.
Wow.
I'm trying to do some B-roll.
But, that's a beautiful image, though. That's really nice. It's nice how you killed them and you got them to lay down just in the right spot.
What lens was that?
I don't know. Roy would have to answer that question. He didn't send me the
I
information.
can't hear you.
What lens did you use, Roy? You remember?
Be the 105 MC.
Okay.
Very sharp.
So here's the next one.
Gee.
Nice detail. Nice detail.
Were you photo stacking with this? I don't know.
No, it's just straight shot.
Hmm.
I'm trying to get steady again.
Well,
These bees are supposed to be for that blue, flary, smelly plant. I can't remember the name of it because it's broke.
And then Roy decided to switch the birds here,
Yep.
or a bird.
Black cockatoo.
Black cockatoo. Very rare.
Yeah. I like all the different kinds of flowers in the background. You got the purple and you got yellow and different sizes. Really pretty.
2,000 millimeter lens.
Wow.
And then Roy decided to surprise me here because I know
Taking
these
time
are
on
not.
the sharpening.
I don't think these are native to Australia.
They are. We get
They are.
penguins,
These are.
fairy penguins. Back in the
fairy
70s when I
penguin?
took this, you could walk
Melbourne
amongst
penguins,
them.
man.
You used to be able to walk amongst them in when I took this.
Oh, wow.
My wife
Roy,
tried to
what
pick
lens
one
was
up and
that?
it squawked at her.
This is an old shot, right, Roy?
Yeah, 1970 something.
They are in two
That two-
places. One
right.
in the middle of the city on the south Melbourne, and the other one is on Phillip Island.
Roy, was the 2,000 millimeter lens the Nikkor mirror lens?
Yes.
Oh, wow. You have one?
Yes, I have. I'm going to have to sell it though. It's too big. I can barely hold the thing.
Oh,
Wow.
it's massive. Yeah.
Has to go.
It's got to go. You got to create that museum, Roy. I keep telling you, you got to do the museum, the
I
Nikon
sold some
Museum.
phase one stuff and some lenses, and I'd rather give it away than sell it though. It's more fun.
But thank you for your double contribution to the show this month, my friend. Very good.
Well,
Very
I wasn't
good.
going to. I didn't really mean the first one to go in because bird eating a rat.
Yeah, I like them. Now the next group of images that we're going to have are from Verena, Martin's wife. So she wrote to me. I'll tell you what she wrote in a second. So we got some images from Verena. We got images from Michael Dries after her. So we'll start with Verena's first image here. Well, her first comments are, "Hello, guys. Last time you were really happy that another female photographer sent some pictures. So today I will show you some other pictures taken by me." She says they're a little bit older, but I like them very much. As you will see, I like to take pictures of animals, silly pictures, and also interesting structures and things. She says, unfortunately, I'm not that much into the technical aspect of taking pictures. I have to ask Martin to help me with the settings. I just see things and press the button, and Martin later wonders about what I was doing there. But when you see these images, you're going to say, yeah, you just push the button.
Oh, it's good. It's still good.
So this is a D500 with the 300 millimeter f4 PF, 300 PF, ISO 900, 1/2500th of a second at f4. She says 2019, Martin and herself visited Chile. We drove to the region of Laguna Minquez, south of San Pedro de Chile. Its surface elevation is at 13,580 feet. Everywhere is this special kind of desert. We waited inside our car when we saw something moving. An Andean fox was coming right in our direction without fear. First, we were afraid it might have rabies because it was heading straight to us. Later, we discovered that the fox was just begging for food.
Yeah.
He learned that tourists might feed him. What a wonderful creature.
Beautiful, for sure.
Beautiful shot.
Very nice portrait.
Now, the next shot you're going to see is from Chile once again. And Chile has a lot of salt lakes, and which disappeared during the seasons to leave crystalline structures behind.
Wow.
As she said, she likes taking pictures of this kind of stuff. So here's a picture of this salty earth.
Beautiful. Abstract.
And her next image was with the D500. This is
Nice.
D500 300 PF f4 ISO 2000 at 1/320th of a second. Actually, camera was set. It's an f4 lens. It was set for f4. She says, very often I wait at a spot while Martin does some hiking to take pictures of his orchids. She says, I am lazy and I don't mind to sit and wait. Very often I'm able to take pictures because I don't move and animals are coming out of their hideouts. And that's true. It's good to sit and be patient, and you let the creatures come to you rather than you trying to chase down the creatures. That is the much better way of eventually getting the shot that you want. She says, just like this little mouse, which appeared about 2 feet away from her, she moved slowly and was patient and was able to take a nice picture of the small animal.
I wonder if it was leaking some minerals from the rock.
Yeah. Now the next image.
Yay.
This is let's see. This is Martin and I took a hike in the Monkbruch Nature Reserve when we saw 2 birds flying by. It was a male and female red-backed shrike, a bird we've never seen before in this area. We waited and watched them. When the male started to do some weird things, it bowed in front of the female, started to shake its head from one side to the other.
She looks the other way.
Yeah, the female sat in front of the male and fluffed up her feathers. Later, we learned that male shrike show this behavior when they display in front of their female. They show the white throat and the gray backside to impress the female. And in German, this is called Nickbalz.
Doesn't look like so impressed.
She says, I didn't find the English term for it, but it might be translated to nodding courtship. Now, I don't know if these shrikes became a couple later. She didn't look very impressed, did she?
Not really.
Playing hard.
Try better.
And that's it for the images from Verena. We appreciate it very much. Thank you. We do want to get more female participants on the show, and you got some unique pictures, and you have an eye and you're patient, and we look forward to you sending some more for the next photo review. The next set of images, we've got Michael Dries, followed by a few images that John Ishii sent in for me to share. I don't know if John's in the chat or not, since I can't see it, but
We haven't seen it.
I
hopefully
haven't
he
seen it
is.
either, no.
Oh, okay. So the first one is this is Michael Dries. This is a Canada J portrait.
Nice.
This is with the Z8 with the Nikon Z400 millimeter f2.8 TCVR at f2.8 at 8/1/800th of a second, ISO 200, Wenlock Wildlife Management Area, Island Pond, Vermont. He says, yes, I bit the bullet and bought the 400 TC. I traded in 3 lenses for a used copy. I love it.
Yeah. Beautiful.
His next image is, I don't know if it's the same bird. It's the same species of bird, Canada jay. You got a in-flight shots.
Wow.
It is.
This is also at the same location, the One Lock Wildlife Management Area, Island Pond, Vermont. Z8 with the same lens, the 400-2.8 TC, f2.8 at 1/3200th of a second, ISO 2200. Very nice. Very nice.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
Let me scroll ahead here. The next shot. This is an eastern phoebe with an insect at the Bennington Center Cemetery in Bennington, Vermont. Z8 with the same lens, the 400-2.8 TC, f2.8, 1/500th of a second, ISO 180. That's cute with it on the flag like that with the headstone. Very nice composition. Well thought out.
Good story behind.
Yep. And then his last image that he sent in is this is called he says this is what they call pound net fishing on Hooper's Island in Maryland on the Chesapeake Bay. He says this traditional fishing method was adapted from the Native Americans who once lived there. But Lewis and his son-in-law, Bert Lewis, no, I'm reading wrong here. I'm too far away from the screen. Burl Lewis and his son-in-law, Jamie Wolfe, are among the few remaining watermen that utilize this practice. He says, I was on a boat with Jay Fleming on a photography workshop. My camera was only a few inches above the water, and I used my rear LCD to compose the scene. And this is with the Z8 with the 24-120 f4S lens at 33 millimeter focal length, f4 at 1/800th of a second, ISO 2200.
Very nice. Very nice.
Great,
Well done.
great composition.
Very good. Very, very good, Michael. Thank you so much. Now, give me a second here.
Only the horizon is a bit off.
Yeah, a little to the left.
Yeah.
Well, the Earth is shifting.
Yep.
That's all. Earth is shifting. Well, of course, when you're on a boat, it makes it tough too. The next shots are from John Ishii, and then after that, we got some images from Scubarazzi. So we got 3 images from John. These are from all these images are from the 9 Emperor Festival in Phuket, Thailand.
Okay.
I took him with the Nikon Z8 with the 24-120, and he also used the 14-30 Z lens. So here he's at 33 millimeter, 1/800th of a second, f4, ISO 2200. Boy, they must all jump in the river afterwards, man. They get filthy. And I know the pictures that him and Diana took, I think it was last year, he shared some images where they were really in the thick of it. And I think, I don't know if they were both using medium format, but I think Diana was using medium format.
Yeah.
And, it was kind of difficult. But they both got great images of that, but they were like right in where, the firecrackers are going off or whatever. And, really a situation where you could get hurt, you don't know. People are just throwing all this stuff in the air. You don't know where it's going to land.
So why do we have this square in top of the head? So people.
I do not know.
Okay.
Oh, Jeff.
Jeff, where are you at?
Yeah.
Oops. There we go.
Well, that's in library mode. It showed it.
Oh, wow.
Does not show it in develop mode. But you could see the camera was saying, Jeff, I don't think that's me. You
That's
know,
weird.
and then it's like, well, do you want to focus on this face or this face? I don't get it. That's weird.
That's
Well-
weird. That to show
So
that.
we have
Never
seen
see that on Lightroom.
Well, that Jeff has hair too, so
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wear a bald wig. You just don't know that.
well, why don't you take it off?
No. I like to look like Telly Savalas.
that's
Uh,
anyway.
so yeah, you can see there's a lot of stuff going on there.
So you're the guy
Yeah,
in
I
the
like
back
to
of all
walk-
my
I like
comic
to
books
walk
with the
around.
bald head wig.
I like to walk around with fire hanging off my hand here. That makes you feel great. And then his last image, here you can see where things are just shooting up and landing wherever they're going to land.
That's nice.
And these are kind of calmer pictures versus what he sent us last year. They were a lot more dangerous environment, I guess. We're in a different spot this time.
Put the library mode again and see whether we have another Jeff on this one.
Put it in library mode. See who we get this time.
Ah,
This
Was the
time it's
other
right.
probably some information from the other photograph.
So those are the ones John sent in. So thank you, John, for taking the time to get in touch and send some stuff in for us.
Excellent.
Now we got Scubarazzi's here, so I appreciate him being. He's very descriptive in what he takes, what he tells me, because he's usually not here to really talk about it. So since last week he was on Malta for a few days of diving, and he says as we have already dark and wet autumn in Central Europe, it was nice to enjoy a little warm weather in the Mediterranean Sea, but also their autumn is windy, and one day we had rain. Because this time I did send you a few more pictures. Besides of the scuba diving pictures, I did also add 2 additional ones that are an experiment he tried to do. He says, you guys did request some failed results. He says, I tried hard, but the results are depressing.
oh my God.
So the first image that you're going to see is not one of the ones he's depressed about. This is on about 20 meters on top of a wreck. You can even see the dive boat on the surface. And he says he did shoot it with a fisheye and 2 strobes, but as you can see, even if the strobes are on full power, the light is barely reaching the diver. The stream of bubbles is air escaping the wreck where the divers passed before.
Wow.
This is with the Sony RX100 VA camera in a Nauticam housing, Fantasy fisheye, 2x Inon, S2000 strobes, 1/640th of a second, f7.1, ISO 250, 24 millimeters. Now the next image you're going to see is from inside a cave, and
Nice.
here he also did use the fisheye lens, but he turned off the strobes. So this is with no strobes. So otherwise it would have lit up that area, in the foreground a little bit anyway. But
Nice
chose to
shooter.
turn it off. The focus, draw your focus to the divers. Give me a minute here to. He says, unfortunately, only one of the divers turned his lamp on. He says he thinks it makes the image more interesting. And this is same camera, same housing, same strobes. So we won't repeat the gear because that's pretty much the same for every shot. This next shot is a close-up image of an octopus.
Ah, nice.
Taken without any special lens. The octopus was hiding in a tire and tried to figure out who I am and I want to eat it. I did use a strobe, but you could see that the visibility was very, very poor. You could see all the particulates in the water.
Yeah.
Like I said, same gear. This is 1/2000th of a second, f7.1, ISO 250 at 24 millimeters. So this next shot is of what I never heard of this. This is a sepia
Yeah.
that was swimming by. And he says they're very interesting animals and are close relatives of octopi. They look similar. Almost looks like a cuttlefish.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It is
It
cuttlefish.
is that's the other name for a cuttlefish.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
In Greece,
Okay.
we call it soupia.
Okay. So I never heard of it. I just thought it was a cuttlefish, but I said, well, I guess I'm wrong, but I guess,
No.
okay, it's the same thing. He said he had to approach it very, very slowly, that it did not swim away, and he had to zoom in a little to get closer. This is at 53 millimeter, 1/1000th of a second, f7.1, and a nice find. And this is in this picture you can see that the diver's taking a photo. Is taking a photo of the sepia from before. He says the image is a little dark. He says in the past, he says he showed us how his medium-sized gear looks like. That what my buddy has is the next level after a GoPro. He has an old Olympus in an Olympus housing and a constant light. I think that with a current GoPro and that light, he might have even a better setup than with this old Olympus, at least for wide angle. It would be better. He said for close up, that setup might be better. So this is a and here you can see that the cuttlefish isn't obviously doesn't look anywhere near as big as the previous image.
And
This is at
this guy's
24
very
millimeter.
nice with the camouflage.
Yeah. And this image he's claiming, and I'll disagree with you, Paul. He says this next image isn't very good. I'm going to argue with him and say, well, I don't know what you're smoking, but it's a very good image to me.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yes.
This is a nudibranch, and he says, unfortunately, the image is not very good. He says, I have done some images when it was in a much better pose, but unfortunately, all the images were not sharp. I mean, I think this image is sharp.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't have an issue with that image.
Looks very sharp.
Unless you're looking at 200x or 300x or something, and you're not happy with it, but I think it's perfectly sharp from what I'm looking at. He says he had to zoom in a lot. The minimum focus distance was too big. Also, he did not notice it as the screen cannot be tilted in the housing. And his close-up eye underwater isn't as good as it used to be. Says I was disappointed because this is a very nice specimen. Paul, I wouldn't be disappointed.
Maybe the color making it for us sharp. Maybe from what he sees on his computer, maybe it's not pin sharp.
Yeah, I mean some of the yellow gold color
I
along
love
the
to have
body,
that, and even if it is out of focus, I don't care if I had that.
it looks nice.
Yeah,
It looks,
beautiful actually.
um,
The colors, the blue with the gold is so nice.
now he says, here's the images coming up where he massively failed. He says he tried to shoot something that is even next level than shooting swallows in flight, which that's tough to find next level from swallows in flight. Speaking as someone who tries to shoot swallows in flight. He says in front of his balcony, he had bats hunting. So he tried to take photos of them. He says, but besides it being already dark outside, they are also very fast and change direction very quickly. He says, I did take my fastest lens with a little zoom, but it did not work. And with f2.8, the depth of focus is so small that it's useless. He says, so I tried it at f7.1, but the autofocus was still not working. And that's why he switched to manual fixed focus. And the speed of 1/1600th of a second is something that's still too slow for such a small and fast animal. Says the strobe helped a little bit, but somehow the bats reflect the light So some parts of the bat were overexposed from time to time. So this was with the Z8 with using a Sigma F mount 70 to 200 f2.8 with a Godox strobe, 1/1600th of a second f7.1 ISO 4000. No, ISO 40,000, 180 millimeters. And yeah, you can see that it's soft, but that's understandable. That's understandable. So he says the next image is the next try for this critter, and
Wow.
also heavily edited. He says if someone of the community has an idea how I can be more successful, I'm very open to suggestions. This is with the same setup, the Z8 with the Sigma 70 to 200 2.8, 1/1000th of a second, f5 ISO 1250, 200 millimeters. He says, unfortunately, I did not have too much time to edit my photos. That's why I did some quick editing with Photoshop Raw, but that's it.
It has the night view on. It will help on focus.
Yeah, I think most of the bad photography is done with flashes and clap.
Mm.
Yeah, I think you'd have to have a real fancy setup where you have to have sensors
very
that
fast.
trip the flashes.
Yeah, triggers,
Very fast.
trap triggers and flashes. So
Yeah.
very, very,
That would.
but Paul is correct. This is as difficult as it gets in photography.
Yeah.
The night view may help on focus.
Yeah.
I have tried night time with my Z9, and really helps to make a focus.
But this one is pretty sharp.
Yeah, that looks alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. The face is sharp. The wingtips are a little soft, but that's fine.
And what they do sometimes, what I have seen on bats and stuff like that, is they tend to work with wide angles, so that they more forgiving with.
Because he asked for ideas, that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, so highly commendable accuracy, because that's
Very
incredibly
nice try on this night time.
exactly. I agree. We should
You get extra credit for giving it a go, and
again. We know Horaci is highly technically proficient with this type of highly technical photography, right? So if somebody going to get it, it's him. The question is whether he has a location where he has access to his bats, because I think this probably was during his trip.
well, he's not going to give up. We know that he's not going to give up.
Exactly.
I try here and fail miserably with the big bats we have here, the fruit bats, which is like a cut, like a big cut.
And that
I don't make it.
So, Tim, are you still here with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, your pictures are coming up next.
Oh, there it is. So this is a shot.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So this is a shot that there's a photographer by the name of Mitch Epstein who put out a book, at least probably over a decade ago by now, called American Power, and it shows nuclear facilities, refineries, and just how they're part of the landscape of this country. And this was he took a shot of this same refinery. This is the Carson refinery in California. And he took a shot of this, and I've always wanted to go there and take the shot. And it's not that far from me; it's about an hour away. And this refinery is actually closing. I think it's closing. It either closed last month or it's closing this month. So I wanted to take a shot of it before it does close. But it's something that you can see from the freeway. You see that giant American flag. And I really want to take a shot of it at night. So I'm going to try and go back at night and take a shot of it because it's all lit up and just something that was very appealing to me. So I was able to shoot it. It's not quite the same angle that he took it at, but this is the only one that I processed so far.
Have you tried it on black and white, Tim?
Yeah, I'm gonna process it a lot of different ways. I've got some other angles.
I believe it will be very nice.
Yeah. So I didn't
You
really
have
get
very
a
nice
chance to film.
details. You have very nice focus
Yeah.
details that can come up very nice.
I agree. Yeah, it wasn't the best time of day to take the shot, but I'm gonna go back and try and shoot it again a few more times. Hopefully, I'll get that opportunity.
Well, you have to try.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Now these were there was a Halloween decoration contest in my city, and there's quite a few people that I don't know. It must be their hobby or something, or maybe they work in Hollywood as effects artists. But they really put some incredible amounts of energy, effort, and money into their Halloween decorations. And I went around one night to see some of the contest winners, and this was the next series of photos are from those houses.
Any of them real?
Probably, but we don't know.
Yeah.
They
It's funny
they weren't
because
talking.
I went with my girlfriend, and we were both shooting this, and she was shooting video. And there's a panoramic shot coming up that you'll see like the extent of the way this house was decorated. It's quite incredible. And she was to the far end, and nobody knew, but the homeowner was actually out there dressed in similar caricature. And as soon as she got close, just screamed as loud as they could.
Oh.
Scared the heck out of her. And she was filming at the time that they did it. So it's funny if you watch the video that she's taking she's filming on her phone. I'm surprised she didn't drop the phone, but it was a funny moment for sure.
Oh, wow.
Nice job. And photographically and the decoration.
I took out
everybody
these
can
with
sleep well tonight.
Yeah, I took all these with the ZF with the 35-1.8. So that's the shot of the house right there.
Wow.
That's my favorite.
And this was a couple weeks before, about a week or so before Halloween. So they had specific nights, I guess. This was taken the night that I saw that they had won the award. So I'm thinking that maybe they had planned to, go all out the day of the contest announcement. So
With the fog machine and everything.
oh yeah, it was incredible. I mean, a lot of houses in this neighborhood were done up, not quite to this extent, but very close. And you could just smell the fog. Everyone had fog machines going. It's all you could smell.
So that landscape mode, it was taking several pictures and stitched together.
No, that was just one picture. That's just the way I cropped it.
You crop it that way. Okay.
Yeah.
I like the projection of the wall.
Yeah, you can see there's a skeleton climbing up the side going into that second floor window, and the Bates Motel sign just below him.
They spend a lot of time and a lot of money to make it, as you said.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
Hope nobody has a
This
fear.
was
My kids.
the same house had like a little. They had like this whole area where you could. It was like set up like a haunted house. So not only was the exterior of the house decorated, but they had this whole maze that you could walk through, and they had all these sort of displays and figures and actually live character actors as you walk through this kind of maze. And this was just one of the things. I thought it was kind of funny. Bunch of little dolls in a bird cage with help written on their foreheads.
Oh my God.
They took their kids.
Now this was taken at a house that was decorated, basically arachnophobia. This would be your worst nightmare. The whole house was, wrapped in caution tape and had spiders and spider webs and you name it.
Ooh.
I don't know. You can see the two giant spiders on the roof.
Imagine taking all that decoration down after this. Oh my God.
No, I can't imagine putting it up or taking it down.
I would put it up and leave it up all year round. I would.
Yeah.
The town would have to make me take it down.
Oh my God.
And we got one more here from Tim.
And this house, they
More
I
civilized.
mean, this is just incredible. They like built this whole plywood structure in front of their house, and it looks like an old western town.
Wow.
Is that crazy
It's
or
next
what?
level stuff. Next level stuff.
Yeah. That's
And
a
you-
top level stuff.
And you think camera gear is expensive? The last set of images are from me.
Very
Tim,
nice, man.
those are
Beautiful.
great, Tim.
Great series.
Those are great. They all tell a story. Now we know where to go to get the best Hollywood style Halloween shots.
In Hollywood.
Yeah, in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You got to go to the right. You got to go to the right place. So my first image here was of this is an early morning shot at the Murrells Inlet Marsh Walk in obviously in Murrells Inlet, South Carolina. So this is boats go in and out. They have during the summer tourist season, they got the jet skis and boat rentals and fishing charter boats and everything you can imagine to take you out into the water on the open ocean and whatnot. And if you look really close near the bottom, and it is a bird shot, there's a great blue heron right here. And but I just like the color. Color makes this shot as far as I'm concerned. And this wasn't amped up. I mean, this is the light was just really, really good. And I said I got to get this shot. And this was with Z9 with the 180 to 600 Z zoom at 180 millimeters f8, 1/25th of a second, ISO 1400. So then we'll switch gears to a nighttime shot of Hard Rock Cafe.
Rock Cafe.
And this is at Broadway at the beach at night. This is with the Z8 with the 24 to 120 at 28.5 millimeters, f7.1, 1/200th of a second, ISO 6400. So my theme here is just doing a lot of different things, different places. This is a black and white converted shot, and this was kind of a flat type of black and white, and the reason being is the right hand side of the image was a lot darker than the left hand side of the image, so this was where I could balance it out best. And I took it because I wanted. This was in front of a curtain store in downtown Conway.
You could use Graduate.
This was with the ZF with the 24 to 120 at 39 millimeters, f5.6, 1/2000th. I don't know why I had 1/2000th of a second, but I did. ISO 800. I wanted to get this woman sitting here on the bench with her dog. So I waited for her to turn her head before I took the picture, so she didn't know I was taking the picture.
You can use the linear Graduate on a
Yeah. I would have liked to had a little more difference in the contrast here. I'll have to fool around with it a little bit more, but I think it's a workable.
We call it dodging and burning.
Yeah. The next couple shots are just showing the pumpkins in the city of Halloween. They had a few that were out, I would say.
Oh wow!
So this was not here when Tim and I were there. They didn't have all these pumpkins, and then they had another area in the next shot here where they had a truck they had all these pumpkins. They had pumpkin stands, hail bays, bales of hay, and an old truck with I think that's a spider maybe hanging on the side. And this is coming right into Conway crossing over on the bridge. You can see the side of the bridge coming down.
I don't think it's the ones of the trees.
Yeah, they put pumpkins in the trees. They really go all out. and this is just a sprinkling of what's there. I mean, I could have, between Tim and I, we probably could have showed you 20, 30 pictures of a lot of interesting things they did in the city of Halloween. It was really, really good. Then I switch gears and I go to Brook Green Gardens. I got a couple images. I got to move my pictures here so I can get at them. Couple images of a black and yellow mud dauber wasp. This is the Z9 with the Z105 macro lens, f7.1 at 1/500th of a second, ISO 800. And then I got a different angle, probably not the same one. I had two. I had one where this was like sideways on this little leaf, and then I had one where it was looking at me, and I chose to share the one where it was looking at me, like saying, "What are you doing taking my picture?"
Did I bite you or beat you or not?
Yeah, it took a while to figure out what this was. I mean, I was looking at online at different insects in South Carolina, and it took me forever to find out what this thing was. And what helped identify it is basically at the base of the antenna, you got two areas of it that are yellow orange, and that helped identify it because there are other yellow and black wasps, but none of them had that yellow orange at the base of the antennae, and that's what helped identify it.
I find great help with the Google Images. When I put an image on Google Images, it can identify many things. Every time I try it, identify whatever I put on. Just go to Google, try the images, and under the where you can write, you can drag the photograph there. They can read it.
Ah, okay. I didn't know that. I'm not a big Google master.
The only problem, Jeff, is that as soon as you type something about an image in Google, or it tries to say, "Give me access to your library. Give me access to," they start with a question and they want, take control.
Oh, they want to use your image as a stock photo.
Yeah.
Well, or training for the AI models, right? Because that's all AI.
Yeah.
But I agree with Terry. It's a good resource to identify plants and animals.
Yeah, it took me forever to find out what this sucker was. I'll tell you, I wasted more time. I could have went out and shot half the day before I figured out what this stupid thing was.
Exactly.
I got three more to show you. This one is I didn't bother looking up what this was. I know it's some type of moth. These are, if Jeff and Leslie are still here, from what I could figure out with my flower book, these are painted daisies.
Yeah.
And boy, they're pretty. They are pretty.
Oh yeah.
I really, really liked the fact that they were still in good shape this time of year. Because I only took this like in the last week. It's getting cold here now. Then I got another shot of the same type of flower with a different type of insect. I spent forever trying to find out what this was, because some sites tried to, when I put in a description of the coloration of this insect, some places would try to tell me it was a moth, but I personally, and others would say it's a beetle, and I tend to think it's a beetle.
Yeah, I think so.
Try the thing I told you. Just make a screen of the small of the sender, and drag that on the images.
So
I believe we'll tell you.
Yeah. So if anybody out there knows what this is, type it in the chat. I'd appreciate it if you know what this sucker is. And the last shot, I have a story behind this. This was also at Brook Green Gardens. I'll set this shot up before I show you the picture. So there's an area in the, in the Brook Green Gardens area. They have brick walls that act as like little retention ponds for lilies, different types of lilies. And they still had some healthy lilies, lily pads and lilies there in some of these areas. And I said, gee, there were still some bees flying around going inside the petals of the lilies. And so think of a circular structure, circular wall, and then the water kind of pours over the lip and goes down into another inside of another circle that's only maybe 6 or 8 inches off the ground, but it has water all the way around the bigger wall. And it just pumps the water, in and over and, a loop type of thing. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to get the angle that I want to get? Because I want to get a picture of the bee literally inside the flower of this lily pad, what's on the lily pad. So I'm standing on like the width of a brick on the edge of that. I got my left hand on the top of the larger wall, and I'm leaning way over, and I'm holding my Z9 with the 105 macro with one hand, and I says I'm going to set it for 20 frames a second, and I'm going to lean as far over as I can and try to get that lens like within inches of the flower and see what I get. And there was a worker there watching me, and she asked me, what were you doing for so long? What were you trying to do? And I said, I was trying to get this.
Yeah.
And I love this shot because the inside of that flower looks like a sea anemone almost with the fingers.
Yeah.
And this is a minor crop.
Very nice.
And so I thought about making a print of this one, but I'm like saying to myself, my wife will say, where are you going to put that one? You got no room.
We'll have to make an extension.
It took a lot of effort, and it was worth it. I think it was worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, that's all the images we have, all 102 of the images. And before we discuss other things, we will go back to what we do every month, and we will do a 3 or 4 second per image sharing for those that came in late, so that you could kind of see everything one after another. And so we will start on the first image that we saw. This was from Luis. And let me I got to get my mouse over here. So this is a shot that has mainland Albania in the background. And so the first few images here are from Luis, and we will move through these. This was at a Calora Beach restaurant in the late afternoon. And then he got an interesting image of a Acridia grasshopper type creature that I would never see here in the U.S. And then he had a blue-throated keeled lizard. Did not have the blue throat at this time. They lose it in the late summer. And then Luis is always good at finding snakes, so he found a whip snake underneath a piece of concrete. And then we have Jeff Sluter, who has no problem just stopping in the middle of the road with his car when he sees something, tries not to get himself killed, and goes out and takes 2 quick images of a pair of eagles. This is a cropped version.
We'll have to try.
And And this one is the uncropped version. The cropped version has a little bit of sharpening done to it. The uncropped version is out of camera. And then we got a series of images that Jim Eads sent in. Morro Bay seagull shot.
What a face.
What a face. Face only a mother could love. And then
Is it Moro or Moron Bay?
yeah. And you got the white peacock. These some of these shots were taken at different animal preserves.
Rare part, rare species like that, the white. It's not albino, it's not.
And then you got the parrot with this wonderful, wonderful background of the
Tablecloth.
the tablecloth looking background. Yep. Then you got a condor, California condor. And then he went to Hawaii and got a shot of the USS Missouri. And then got a very interesting shot of Alikala crater in Hawaii, which we'll show you next. A lot of people.
Remind me, Iceman.
Very nice. Very nice. And then Roy's first set of images he sent in, he wanted to have a sense of humor. He was a little nervous about sharing this one. And then he said, well, I'll let you jump to, we'll do a little AI and let you think of a hot dog instead. And then if that's still making you nauseous, then we'll go to a different bird having some toast with some lettuce. So he definitely did some creative AI.
I think Roy's just feeding him those things. I don't know that this is AI.
I don't know. He feeds them a lot, so you never know what Roy's feeding them. So he doesn't want to reveal all his secrets.
I don't think you would have give him the sausage. I wouldn't.
So those were the first set of images he sent in, and then we get into images that Bob Reppert sent in of a brown thrasher with a worm.
Nice pose.
And then a series of shots of the Carolina chickadee, whether it be bringing in a meal, caterpillar,
Uber Eats.
removing the poop sack from the nesting area inside the tree, and then he was singing that song "Me and My Shadow," I think at some point. And then Bob topped it off with a small gator for Roy's enjoyment, doing his best to stay hidden. Then we got some interesting images from Martin Hild.
Very intriguing.
Yeah. These are long story behind this, so I'm not going to repeat it. If you want to hear the whole story, watch at the beginning of the video.
With the invisible crate.
Yeah. And then Martin likes to take a lot of pictures of fungi, and this is called a tiered tooth fungus. A tiered tooth fungus in this shot, and this was with the 105 Nikkor 105S lens, the Z6 II. And then he found, after finding a tiered tooth fungus, he found a coral tooth fungus where he used one of those very, very, very difficult to use LAWA probes, 24 millimeter probes, at 1/13 of a second, and
I wonder if they are hard
and
or
he
soft.
hit this with a flashlight to have some illumination on that fungus. So Martin is very, very, very patient. And another guy who definitely has a lot of patience is Terry. Plans his shots, thinks them out, decides what he wants to do, when he needs to show up, and captures the image. So a series of wonderful images here from Terry. This one is from New Zealand, Mount Cook for Lake. And then he says, well, I'll share you one from the Australian outback, because he doesn't want to leave out Australia. Topography is a little bit different. And then he got the wonderful image with the light shining through the clouds, breaks in the clouds. Then he moved on. This was what, the Riverwalk area?
Yeah, Brisbane River.
And then he capped it off with an architectural photo with a lot of different lines and a lot of different shapes. Very well done. And then we got the first set of images from Tim Jacobs, aka Mozman, downtown Conway, City of Halloween in October. Animated critters, or me before I have a meal, as he said. Water tower, Conway Water Tower. Yeah, and the person up there really gives you that scale to realize how big that water tower is. I mean, if you didn't have the person in the picture, you wouldn't be able to appreciate how big those water towers are until you put a person up there. That really makes a big difference. And then, and this was an image out of a wagon in a visitor center at a living history farm in Conway. And then we went to Wilmington, North Carolina, where Tim's dad lives, and went downtown. We always like to go downtown. We got a favorite place to eat down there. We pretty much go to the same place every time we get together. And these ladies were nice enough to, let Tim get a shot of them while it was raining. And then there was a wedding going on in the rain as well, which is unfortunate, but we don't have the power to change the weather yet, so that's how it works.
Remember.
And then we got a nice series of very colorful fall shots from Gustavo of different
Pumpkin time.
It's pumpkin time. It's pumpkin time.
Halloween in Chernobyl.
Yep. Yep. Pumpkins and all different sizes and shapes and colors, and very, very nice shot. Nice shots to frame. Gustavo, what would be cool if you took if you had like an odd shaped frame, where you make a pattern and you have all these like next to each other.
Yes.
It would look really cool.
My wife was also trying to bring some placemats.
Yeah. And then really, really interesting textures with the gourds.
Yeah, those are cool.
Those are really cool. And then this is getting a little bit closer. Even more.
That has to be on the center.
Yeah.
That's the painting one.
Yep.
What lens was that? The 24 to 120? I think I see.
24 to 120. Yep. Very nice. Costello.
Very, very nice.
And then we had a set of images from Anita Stewart, our faithful landscape photographer. Hey, she does a wonderful job. You know, wonderful job. These were a series of shots at different locations within three separate provincial park locations, as you said, different lighting conditions within a 2-hour drive. And she got different looks and feels from the different areas that she stopped at.
Well, that's a big beaver dam.
I was wondering if that was a beaver dam.
Yeah, that's a beaver dam.
Okay.
So big.
Yeah, big beaver. Big beaver.
You mean the left.
Killer beaver. That's the next. That's the next horror movie. Yeah. And then David shared some interesting images. He went to Toys R Us and he found Joffrey.
What do you mean they find David? That wasn't David.
Okay, David.
I had the mustache.
David, are you there? Did your team win?
No, we're at the bottom of 9, and the score is 4-4.
Yeah, bases are loaded. Only one out. Bases are loaded, right?
Yeah.
Who's got the bases loaded? Toronto?
Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay, so your odds are good for you.
Don't jinx
Yeah.
it.
Well, they can walk them, and then
Yeah.
Toronto would win.
That's the rendering presentation of a model.
I like that. I like that building.
Yeah. And then you got some fly fishermen fishing for flies. I can't help it. I'm sorry. And I didn't imagine if I had a few drinks in me, guys. You're lucky.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know.
And this is a shot that David put a lot of time into working on. And then Randall was nice enough to take a series of shots using the new ZR, Nikon ZR, and
The 35 millimeter f1 1.4.
35 1.4 lens, and went to a place like you said, 12 miles from your house.
Yeah.
And a lot of different vantage points, a lot of different views. Looks like a really nice place to go any time of year. And sometimes you get the butt shot. What can I say?
The cheeky shot. The cheeky shot.
Cheek shots, just cheeky. So that's when we jump ahead quickly to the next shot. And we don't want. We're trying to avoid porn on this channel as much as we can. And different bridges, stone steps, and stone embedded in cement, and a nice upward view of the pavilion here. And David said it got a little hot, so he decided to go in the shade and get a different vantage point. And then this one. Now, you said here you used to be able to drive in here with a vehicle?
So you see where the water is?
Right here?
Yeah, right there.
Okay, so they didn't have those bricks there
Well,
before.
no, the bricks are there. You drive in the water between the bricks.
Oh, okay.
Right? And you can still do it, but they block that off. So no one can do it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Roy sent in some more images. This is supposed to be blue and black instead of green and black.
or lavender.
Yeah.
It turned green and
It's nice that you could lay a dead bee on a flower and make it look so natural like that.
Yeah, that's probably what he tried to get right there.
Yeah.
You see, these are the kind of photos that you never know, and that's where we're going to be living. Is AI, no AI, correct? I mean, it's it become very difficult.
And this is nice with all the different shape, sizes of flowers in the background, all the different colors. And then you got some penguins. And then Martin's wife, Verena, sent in a series of images. We appreciate her sending in some of her work. She downplays her skill set, which I think is not. She's the real deal. There's no reason to try to say, "Oh, you don't know how to use the camera" or whatever. I mean, a lot of it is being able to find the right subject and the right setting and everything, and you have an eye for your images, and you should be very, very happy with what you got. And this is um, some salt.
The eye on the photographer is the A and Z. That's it. That's
Yep.
the main point. You
Yep.
can see the frame.
This is from a salt lake in Chile. The previous shot of the fox was from Chile as well. She waited a while and just stayed patient and got a visit from a friend. And then found a couple birds that were going through some shrikes that were going through a mating process. As she says, the female didn't look really interested.
At least he was doing it. That.
Yeah. And then from there we get into images of Canada jays from Michael Dries, portrait shot. I like the cobweb down here. Portrait shot and one in flight.
That's beautiful.
And then he took a nice composition of an eastern phoebe here in a cemetery area.
His own backlight.
Very interesting with it finding a perch on a flag next to a grave, a headstone. And then he got a picture of these fishermen doing what he called pound net fishing, which was adapted from Native Americans who lived there at one time. And that's everything that Michael sent us. And then I'm moving around here. And then we move into some images from the Nine Emperor Festival in Phuket, Thailand, that John Ishii sent in 3 images from there. And we got a square around the head there. We get rid of the square. Circle has the square.
Yeah, you got it in develop mode again.
Well, I just put it in develop mode to get rid of it.
Okay.
On library mode, for whatever reason, it's got the box.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So I don't get that. Understand that.
Yeah.
What camera you use?
I think it's Z6 right?
He used the Z8 with the 24 to 120 and the 14 to 30.
Okay.
And now this one was where, there was some guy named Jeff in the picture.
There's some information on EXIF you can see that.
Yeah. So then we were then we were got a series of shots from Paul Scubarazzi. Trying to find my
Scubarazzi or Scubarazzi?
Razi. This was in Malta, diving trip in Malta. And you got a close up of an octopus. You can see how much particulates. Well, it's basically organisms in the water, and make it look like the water's dirty, but the water's not dirty. It's just full of life.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. That's what you want.
Absolutely.
And then got a picture of a cuttlefish.
I mean, that's cool.
Camouflage.
And then got an image of the person taking a picture of the cuttlefish. And then a nudibranch, which he. I mean, I'll tell you, I'd love him to send me all his bad images.
Yeah.
He wasn't happy with this one. It's like, okay, really? Okay, that's the bad shot. All right. And then this was an experiment trying to get pictures of very small bats in pitch black, and the trials and tribulations of trying to capture an image when you got everything fighting you. You don't have a lens. It's not like you have a knocked lens 0.95 f-stop and you could shoot at a fast enough shutter speed to lock these things and freeze them in motion and triggering your strobes and all sorts of stuff. So it would probably require a setup where you have to create something where the bats trigger the strobes, and you'd have to have a lot of them, and you might be able to get everything frozen the way you want. But on his second attempt, this one is pretty sharp.
Yeah.
So I mean, give you credit for that. And then I wouldn't complain about that one. And then from there we move on to some images that Tim took. Oil refinery, I believe he said this was. It was maybe closed at this time, and it was in a book, and he went and got the same similar picture. And
that's the Carson refinery,
yeah,
just outside of Los Angeles.
And then he decided to go out with the goblins and look at the houses that were decorated for contest near where he lived. And he probably didn't. This is why you don't sleep well, Tim. Images of evil nuns dancing in your head. See, there's another Jeff. I don't think I look like that. Sorry.
Perfect.
Man.
Nailed that.
If I look like that, I'm in trouble.
Put it in the library. Let's check, see if it's Jeff.
See if it still says Jeff. It might say Gustavo.
Exactly.
That was Jeff when I was sending him photos earlier today on a Saturday, hours before the show.
Evil Jeff. So we have sad Jeff, hungry Jeff,
evil Jeff, non Jeff.
Did you have it on auto search for humans there, the faces?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it probably gives on the EXIF, gives some. You had to choose between the one or the other, and that.
So
that's probably coming on.
This is the full view of the nuns. I think it's a nasty habit. That's all I got to say. And then you got the Bates Motel with the skeleton climbing up to the second floor window, and images projected on the house. And man, these people have fun, and then they lock up all their children in a little cage.
Yeah, to have fun for themselves.
Yeah, all the kids are screaming, "Let me out! Let me out!" Tim says, "I'll just take a picture of you. I'm not helping you."
I had to alert the authorities. I had to document it.
Yeah. And then you got Spider Central here.
Can intrude in a family matter.
If you like spiders or don't like spiders, You know, if you got people that are so freaked out over spiders, I bet you they wouldn't even walk to the door to get candy. They'd say, "No, ain't gonna happen. We'll skip this one. We'll skip this house. Not gonna get it." And then they do their Wild Wild West imitation as well. Those are just awesome. Those are cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
Those are really cool. Yeah, Tim and I are talking this afternoon as he sends me those pictures, you know. and we're just talking stuff, you know, while I'm bringing them in and processing them, or getting them in order and everything. And then these are just a handful of shots from me at excuse me, I got a cough. This is at Merle's Inlet Marsh Walk, and then another popular location for tourists. A lot of shops, Broadway at the beach, lots of bars, restaurants. Took this somewhat flat black and white image on the downtown Conway, curtain shop, the lady with her dog on the left, far left of the image. I got to tweak this some more. And then a couple of Halloween shots in the town, focusing on just the pumpkin displays, which they had, pretty much everywhere they had pumpkin displays. Oh, they had I should find it, but I'm not going to go digging for it. I had a picture of my wife sitting on a bench, and there was a skeleton next to her, tall skeleton. She's sitting on the bench, and she's looking at the skeleton. And she's the skeleton, and it had like a trip, a sensor where the skeleton would start talking pre-planned phrases, and so she's sitting there on the bench and looking at the skeleton, and the skeleton says, "Hello, passerby. You have a nice face. I used to have one." Oh, that was so funny. I used to have one. And a few of the wasp here. Black and yellow mud dauber wasp. I could remember that name forever since it took me so long to find it. And then others that I didn't bother to look up what they were these painted daisies, moth of some kind, and some kind of beetle. And then the last shot of the show was the bee inside of the lily pad, flower from the lily pad. And that's it. That is our presentation. And I'd like to thank everybody, as always, for taking the time to send in all these wonderful images. This is probably only the second time in the history of doing the image review that we've had over 100 images to go through, which the fact that I can still talk is pretty good.
It's 3 hours, man. It's okay.
But we did it. And I'm going to try to get out of the sharing mode here.
So we have 17 different photographers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. That's a good show.
And
Excellent.
let me minimize. I'm just trying to clean up my screen here so I can see everybody again, and and thank everybody for. So, David, update. You guys win yet? Is it over?
Hi.
So we're in extra innings, and the Dodgers had the bases loaded, and too bad they got their third out. So now the Jays are up.
Okay.
So they'll be the bottom of 10.
Bottom of 10.
So
Hey, what better way to end the World Series by stretching it out into extra innings, and causing all the fans on both sides of the globe to have slight, heart palpitations and whatnot.
Well, they got to drink more, so they got to buy more beer.
Well, you should drink the beer ahead of time, so if your team loses, you don't remember.
Anyway,
But
well, I'm going to go back to watching the game, so and I'll
alrighty.
listen to you guys inside.
Okay. Thanks so much for coming on, David.
Bye,
We
David.
know you don't like us. Bye bye.
Enjoy the game.
Well, you have a good night, and see you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks. So
Take him out. Take him out.
so I hope so we still got 15 people hanging with us. That's good. I'm not going to. I got a few things. I think it's more important before. We're almost at midnight. I'm not going to get into very much of the what's going on in the Nikon world per se. Let's just let it be said that we're all aware that the ZF came out with what they're calling the version 3.0 firmware update. And
Before you start, if I saw some of the messages right, do you change time?
we changed time technically at 2 a.m. our Sunday morning.
Okay, that means you'll be 1 hour earlier or later.
Back 1 hour back.
We go back 1 hour in basically 2 hours. We could set the clock back 1 hour.
Yeah, we will come back again as we were before.
As we were
11
before,
for me
yeah.
instead of 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in other words, we're extending the show another hour.
No.
Don't say that to his wife.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Nikon rumors a little bit, but I want Gustavo to talk about the show 2 weeks from now, and then we'll bounce back to this, and we'll try to wrap everything up within the next 15 minutes.
Okay, so guys, this is what is upcoming here. Right? So we have our general meeting and special presentation of photographic receivers in Newfoundland. We already have the photos, and they are fantastic. And you saw today Mike Dree's photos. That will be on November 15th. So that is a beautiful, beautiful presentation we will have that day. And of course, we will have a chance to discuss whatever else is happening at the time. Then our next image review will be Saturday, December the 6th, correct? So hopefully we will have a good participation on that one as well, the last of this year. And our general photograph general meeting and special presentation will be from David on Aurora, correct? And that will be on December 20. Now for 2026, we will have our January 3rd image review, and we're still working on the general meeting and special presentation to be confirmed. We need to check on. I believe Sanji Pal said that he was going to help us out with something for that meeting. Let me
with another world premiere.
With another world premiere. So let me make sure that I can switch image here. Hold on a second, Jeff. We're stuck in the. I need to go to this one. Okay. So this is just as a reminder of the upcoming general meetings, correct? So we will have. So this is for the November 15, the photographic receivers in Newfoundland. As I said, I mean, fantastic photos of puffins and gannets and beautiful light conditions. So I do recommend strongly that you guys watch that show, and then we will have David send me this picture for the thumbnail, a rather unusual photo of the aurora, and of course the Milky Way taken with a fisheye, right? And that's for the December 20. So that's what I have, Jeff.
Okay. Like I said, we'll just hit on a few things very, very fast once I find my mouse here. the ZF firmware came out, like I said, version 3.0. A lot of it has to do with allowing in-camera film grain feature that has multitude of intensity levels, size options, and you're going to get different effects of grain depending on your image. And you're I think it's going to be one of those love it or hate it type of things. There was somebody that came out. My friend Bob sent me a link to a certain, I won't mention the person, and somebody was kind of like saying, what in the blank did Nikon do to ruin the ZF? I mean, that's how he exactly worded it. But
Wow.
the person complained about hot shoe issues with flash problems with the camera, which I've never heard of any flash problems with the camera. And then the person rambled on about why would anybody want to use this stuff? And it's just kind of like, okay. And then said that he wasn't able to use SnapBridge to download the firmware update, that it downloaded the same version of firmware that he had. And then Tim and I were on the phone talking, and I was texting Bob, and we debunked this guy while we were talking. And Tim downloaded the firmware with SnapBridge into his ZF, and he didn't have a problem. So the person is obviously someone whose credibility is questionable. And I told
Probably
Bob,
he didn't think he didn't have an internet connection, remember?
I don't know. I just told Bob, I says, you can't believe everything that you see on every YouTube video, and you
Always somebody will complain.
yeah.
Somebody.
If you don't like a brand, you're going to find things to complain about.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
Yeah.
so I would just say there's a lot of things that came out with the firmware, and a lot of it might be things that, like, I don't do anything cloud based. I don't get into the cloud at all personally. I just don't do
I
it.
don't like it. Yeah.
So a lot of these
I don't
things
trust
I'm never going to use anyway. So
I don't trust my internet. That's the main point.
Yeah.
Everything can work all right, but if something happened on the internet at the moment of transfer, who go to save it? That's I don't understand. How you are so sure about it?
And you have a CF, Jeff, correct?
Pardon? I have a ZF, yes.
Did you
I
update
did
it?
not update it yet. Tim updated his today using SnapBridge to see if that person's problem was repeatable, and it was not.
And that's something I never do. And the only reason I did it because this person said that when they did it, it didn't install the latest firmware. It installed the same firmware that they already had on their camera, which is just preposterous.
That's difficult.
SnapBridge showed me I had an update for the Z5, which was already the last update I have already done.
Yeah.
And it tell me that you have a new update. I thought, new update? And I ran to Nikon site to see if it is there. I said, no, that's it. You have the new one. Shut up. Be happy and get out. And yeah. The only problem, I don't like SnapBridge anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, to make a long story short, there's plenty of places you can go, and some videos that have already come out regarding this firmware update. Matt Irwin's got something out there you could watch. I'm sure there's others as well. I'm just not going to get into it too deep. And we got a late night here, and anyway. The ZR and the 3514 kit is now in stock in the USA. It wasn't apparently at the time Randall got his, because he had to buy his with the 5014 and bought the 3514 after the fact. The two Nikkor DX lenses that we talked about on the last show are going to start shipping this week.
Jeff, I'm on a Google.
Yep.
I choose up here the images. All right. If I go on the beginning, sorry.
Yeah.
You see here, you have images and
Yeah.
Gmail. If you click on images, it comes to this. And you can take, sorry for the movement, you can take one of these images. I have one with a bird. Leave it there. And you will come to identify the bird and give you a lot of information. And sometimes if it isn't clear, the photograph, it can give you more than one, probably, matches. It's very helpful. Try to do that with the beetle. I have done it with many things.
Can you do that with insects too, or it has to be
Yeah.
anything?
You can,
Okay.
yeah. Sorry for that. I
that's all
remember
right.
to.
That would have saved me probably 3 hours on that one wasp. So those DX lenses we talked about last week, the 35 millimeter f1.7 and the 16 to 50, right? Zoom f2.8 VR are shipping this week. Peak Design does have some cool new camera straps. Some of them are like the braided straps that were common to vintage cameras back in the 60s that are kind of neat. Rope straps, different colors, different sizes.
They've got some new leather straps too, and then they've got different colors of these guys, these little anchors.
Anchors.
And the
What
AF.
What, what I saw, I don't know about this new peak design that is of interest. I think I don't know which of the channel is that they show one of those in a long telephoto that they could anchor it with two different anchors, so it brings you extra safety, correct? So they have two separate point of connections to your camera. So that's interesting.
The AFS version of the Nikkor 14 to 24 2.8 F mount is now discontinued at B&H, so you're going to start seeing stuff. More lenses get phased out. Nautical housings, they introduced it. Well, Nautical introduced a new underwater housing for the ZR, so they're pretty quick to the game. I mean, Nikon's got to share a lot of this stuff way in advance for these companies to make stuff so quick after the product comes out, whether it be, the small rig stuff or the grips and underwater housings and stuff like that. So, I mean, they're obviously feeding information to a lot of different third-party manufacturers that make stuff that Nikon doesn't. So that's because it benefits them. The more stuff that's available out there for that camera when it gets introduced, the more likely people are going to say, oh, I don't have to wait for this and I don't have to wait for that, and they'll buy the camera. So that's pretty cool. The ZR supposedly is going to get Apple ProRes 422 LT in a future firmware update. Viltrox is kicking out 3 new autofocus lenses for the Z mount, the 50-1.4 Pro, the 85-1.4 Pro, and the 85 f2 EVO. And that's about all that I bothered to scribble down for Nikon. And, I had like a little did you know thing to share, but I'll hold that off for another day and let everybody.
Any more news for
David is starting to hit on his whiskey supply at the moment, I believe. But anywhere, Roy, this is interesting. Roy's saying your ZR small rig cage won't get there till December, huh?
Yeah.
What version cage did you get? The minimalist one or the next one up?
The top one.
Top one.
2 handles.
So, but anyway, I think we're gonna.
Good. I'm trying to get you.
We're gonna call it a night on the show. I appreciate Tim having the time to come on and join us. He's a single guy for the weekend. Okay, yeah. Ladies, wink, wink. And so we had a lot of fun chatting today. We really did. It's a shame we live so far apart from each other. I tell you, we have a blast. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody, as always, for the exceptional images that you submit, the great stories that you send us with the pictures so that we can speak for you. Paul and Martin are really good about, they obviously, not easy for them to come on the show because of where they live, and they send very good informative storylines of every shot they take, and I think we all appreciate that. But wonderful job, everybody, as always. And it was nice for Martin's wife to send in some images again. We appreciate that as well. Verena, hopefully you could convince some other female photographers in Germany to share some of their images on the show. Maybe we can have like a female German female photographer click on the channel. Wouldn't be bad. And like I said, I think Randall had a lot of fun with the ZR. Go check out his channel, watch some of his videos. You got to see some of the still images he took with it. I think he's overall happy with it. I think it's just a little bit of a fumbling around and getting used to where the power or the sensitivity of the on-off power button on the top left-hand side of the camera. And of course, the menus are going to be a little different, and you got to kind of get used to that. I think I was telling Tim, I think Nikon really wasn't worrying so much about those of us that have other Nikon cameras, because they were trying to pull in people that maybe don't have a Nikon camera that wouldn't get confused by the menus because they don't have a Nikon camera yet. But I think Randall and Roy, as always, wonderful AI renditions of that bird. I think we all got a kick out of that, and wonderful bee photos as well. And Gustavo, you made us feel like you lived in Pumpkin Town. Yeah, you live in Pumpkin Town. And Terry, wonderful job. It's always good when our panelists run away at the end of the show. Terry, thanks so much for your wonderful images. Your photography is wonderful. And Tim, thanks for sharing that incredible Halloween spectacle in California. I think you'll be doing that every year now that you've seen it.
Yeah, I mean, I might just do that.
It'll be interesting to see if because all that stuff had to cost a lot of money. It'll be interesting to see if those people just put up the same exact thing that you saw this year or next year, or whether they totally
will rearrange them,
spend all new money and change the whole theme for next year. That would be interesting.
Yeah, you're right. It would be, but you should see what people do for Christmas too. I mean, Christmas almost outdoes Halloween.
But everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us tonight. Hey, let your friends know about us, huh? We want them to share their images too, and hopefully learn a little something from us crazy people on the top and on the screen that you see right here before you, as well as those that pop in from the chat. And you're always welcome to come on the panel when you come in and you're in the chat. The link is usually shown in the chat at some point. Once we get started, I put it in there. And feel free to pop in, share whatever you want to share. Just be civil. We don't get nasty on this show. We're not a show about controversy. We're just a show about learning and sharing each other's knowledge about what we
avoid cheeky photographs
and avoiding porn, which is a little hard sometimes. But
next month.
Because I'm saying that word now, though, this video will probably get canceled by YouTube because they're going to think we really have it on the show.
Yes.
Which YouTube.
I see so many old people here. I said,
I'm only joking, YouTube. We really don't have that stuff here. Okay, just let you know. But good night, everybody, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Be there or be square. Take care.
See you guys.